little disheveled there. Hello, friends. Hi. Oh, my goodness. What's going on there, honey? What did you do? Well, hang on, friends. That was weird. That was totally weird. You just got a little, let's fix that again. That was, anyhow, hello. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the crazy camera on a Wednesday night. Hi, friends. It's odd. It's still odd. It is what it is. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday night, not Saturday morning. Happy Wednesday night. Look at the chat here real quick. We'll say hi in a sec. Welcome, friends. It's Wednesday and we're listing on a Wednesday night. I won't even say normally. I'll say sometimes on Wednesdays you see me here a little bit later in the evening, but I'm doing What's New Wednesday. So tonight is not What's New Wednesday. Tonight I thought it'd be fun to do one of our List With Me lives, but on a Wednesday night. Last couple of years, I think we've done this, and it's always been kind of fun because it's a totally different, well, it's still the same, right? We're still listing and chatting and having fun and playing with fun things. But it's a little bit of a different vibe because it's at night. Sometimes I encourage you to have whatever beverage you would like to have with you. If it's an adult beverage, then good. If it's a non-adult beverage, then good. If it's tea, whatever works for you. I poured myself a little glass of red wine and I poured it in a wine glass that someone gave me recently. I was teaching at my friend Lizzie Lou's, our Christmas bash that we do every year. And I think it was Marilee, I'm pretty sure it was Marilee, gave me this wine glass. I'll show it to you. It says, I have to read it backwards. I'd rather have wine on the shelf. And then on the back side, it says, forget the elf. So it's kind of fun. So cheers, I'll have a little sip. But I won't be able to drink too much of this while we're listing because it's too hard for me to do that. Because I also can't talk while I'm drinking. I mean, after I drink, I can, but yeah. So cheers, friends. Anyhow, if you are just, I'll catch the chat here in one sec. If you're just joining me and you haven't joined or stumbled upon this before, welcome to you. Normally on Saturdays when I'm not traveling, we are here on my YouTube channel and we do what I like to call creative listing. So usually a couple days before, I publish our listing topics on the blog at laylebymail.com under blog, and we get together and I take those list topics and I make lists. And I say creative listing because I'm using paper, pattern paper and washi and die cuts and stamps and lots of different things like that. So in a lot of cases, what we're doing is we are memory keeping, we're journaling, we're documenting, we're scrapbooking, whatever you want to call it. If it's photos, then it's kind of scrapbooking, right? If it's not photos, then we're documenting or journaling or memory keeping, but it all kind of falls under the same umbrella, right? I also, in some cases, call them little mini time capsules. So we'll be doing kind of a little mini time capsule tonight. And a little mini time capsule would just be kind of a snapshot in time. And I think it's really fun to do those types of lists because those types of time capsule lists tend to change a little bit over time, right? They could change every month, they could change every week, they could change every year, every 5 years, whatever it is. So that's why I call them little time capsules. As we are working, there will be a lot of product that I'm using that usually you can find in one of a couple places, but primarily the product I'm using you'll find on my website at laylebymail.com. In the description box of the video, I have a link to a special page on the website that links you to the specific products that I am using. That usually covers about 95% of what I'm using or what I think I'm going to use. Sometimes what I think I'm going to use, maybe there's a couple things I don't use, or sometimes there's some things I don't plan on using that I do use. So, but then there are other things that I'm using that I don't carry on the website. A lot of times you'll find links for those as well. So yes, that's what we do here. If you're watching live, there is a live chat that takes place. So I'm going to divert to the chat so I can kind of see who's here. We also, before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about giveaways because whenever we're together on our listing sessions, I always like to do giveaways. And for the most part, those giveaways are I call them after party giveaways, okay? So meaning that once we're done and the live session is over, the giveaways happen after, so that really anyone can participate. Anyone can watch, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the Memorex version, right? The replay. So I do those in the comments section on the video itself, not in the chat. But every once in a while, I do some live giveaways as well. So tonight, I'll be doing double giveaways. I have 6 giveaways. 3 of them I'll be doing live, and 3 of them will be after party. So if you haven't participated in the live giveaways before, basically what I'll do is at 3 different times yeah, it's a lot. Well, this time of year is a lot. 3 different times, it's not the wine talking, I promise. 3 different times during our session tonight, I'll say, hey guys, in the next couple of minutes, I'm gonna do a live giveaway. And the way that I do live giveaways is I do them from the chat. So those of you that are participating in the chat, you have an opportunity to win, because what I'll do is I'll say, hey, in a couple minutes, I am going to stop and scroll my finger up in the chat, and wherever my finger stops, that's the person that wins. So you'll have 3 opportunities to do that, so stay tuned. All right, let's take a look at the chat. Let's take a look at the chat. Hi, Juris, nice to see you. Oh, Nick, I had to feed Layle so she has lots of energy. He's very good about doing that. He takes such good care of me. I went to lunch with my mom today, and when I came home, Nick had set up the lights in here and had everything kind of ready to go, which was so awesome. So he knows I love him. He's probably not on anymore, but he knows. He knows. I tell him, because he takes good care of me. Anne said, thanks, Nick. You're appreciated. Looking forward to the light. Yeah, he is so much appreciated. I know you guys appreciate him too when he hops in and says hello. Ms. L, hello, hello. Hi, Kelly. Mimi, nice to see you. Yes, Mimi said, thank you for feeding Layle, Nick. Yeah, we don't want hangry Layle. Hangry Layle is not pleasant to be around. Hi, Elizabeth and Wanda from Tennessee. Louisa, hello, hello. Janine, Lisa, Belinda, Marilee, did you see? I don't know if you saw or not. Did you see what I cheers with? Your little cup. Hi, Mary J and Laura. It might be another time for a little sip of wine. It's not all about the wine here, I promise you, but you know, sometimes at night it can be, right? Sometimes at night it can be. Let's see. Rhonda said my first live and I got my first Layle by mail, happy mail today winner. I love that, Rhonda. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Love it so much. I'm always super interested in knowing where you guys find me. So Rhonda, I don't know. I don't know where you found me. So I'd love to know. I always like to know where you guys find me, where you stumble. Pamela, hello, and Julie. Mimi said everything looks good here. Hi, Gabby, and 111 Renee's. Okay, so this is perfect. I love this. 111 Renee's. A couple weeks ago, on one of our Saturdays, I think it was on a Saturday, 111 Renee's left a comment, and I kind of made a little joke about 111 Renee's, and I know we're late names here, but just one of the 111, and so she sent me an email. It was very kind of you, Renee, later that day or something, and explained why her 111 Renee's, where that came from. So thank you. I just love that. I thought that was so clever. And she said she's in Nashville. So if I say she lives on 111, that's part of her address. I couldn't tell you what it is offhand, but I don't think that's giving anything away. But anyhow, I thought that was so fun. It's part of her address. Gabby's excited. Hi, Anne from Tampa. Pamela, yes, cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Yes, enjoying it, Marilee. So fun. I should also say there are, you guys are always so kind to me, whether it's sending me thank you emails, just saying thank you for what we do when we're together, or sending me little cards, nice little notes, little comments. I have this year been the benefactor of 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 more squirrel ornaments for my squirrel Christmas tree. My squirrel Christmas tree that I didn't have up until last year because a group of ladies from Texas sent me a Christmas tree. And so once they found out I didn't have a squirrel Christmas tree for squirrel ornaments, they sent me one. So that tree is thriving, although it's, you know, it's not real. It's thriving. It's about this tall and it is full of ornaments, squirrel ornaments. So I will, I'll share a picture maybe when we're together on Saturday. I'll also post it in the Facebook group if you're in the Facebook group and want to see that. And if you're not in the Facebook group, just search for Layle by Mail, and you'll see a page in a group, and say, I want to be in the group, and I'll let you in. Let's see. Debbie, hi Debbie. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Thumbs up. That can be your little Christmas present to me. Thumbs up. If you're watching, anytime you're watching anyone, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Reels or TikTok or Snapchat or whatever it is you watch things on, a thumbs up is super helpful. A comment is super helpful. Sharing with friends, tagging your friends, all that's super helpful. So thank you. Thank you for that reminder. Let's see. Mary J said, love those giveaways. She was lucky to win one of the triplets, one of the 3 new Traveler's Notebooks. All right, let's see. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. Laura, Janine. I know, and I get to this point, and I'm probably, because you guys are just chatting away, I know I probably said hi to lots of you. Carolyn, yes, thumbs up. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Scrapped NH. Jennifer. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you, friend. We need to connect. I know you're super busy, too. We'll connect one of these days, right? Michelle is my friend. I was going to say, Michelle's my friend, Michelle. Michelle Kraft, and literally that is her last name, which perfect last name for what she does, because she and her daughter Lauren own a scrapbook store in outside of Spokane, Washington, Medical Lake, right? Medical Lake. I think that's the address. Anyhow, if you're in the area, Google 3 Craft Chicks and you'll find it. But I travel up to Spokane now several times a year because they do really awesome retreats, events. I shouldn't even call them retreats, or events at a wonderful hotel in downtown Spokane. So if you don't know anything about 3 Craft Chicks, then you can always go to my website and click on Coming Soon. And Coming Soon will tell you where I'll be teaching, and you'll see links to their events that I'll be teaching at next year. TK said, your drink looks better than mine. I love it. Hi, Meredith. Nice to see you. April made it. Hooray. Okay, guys. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I want to read what Rhonda just said, you guys. This is awesome. This is why I really encourage you, especially when you're here watching me, to do the thumbs up and to leave comments and to participate in the chat. Rhonda said, because I asked her, I said, Rhonda, how did you find me? Because Rhonda just placed an order. And it was her first one. And she said, it came up in my YouTube that said, watch this, and I was hooked. And so, you know the way the algorithms work. They think that they know more about you than you do. In this case, it was a good thing, right, Rhonda? But there was enough interaction going on with what I do here on YouTube. And Rhonda, at some point, had watched a video, maybe about planners or traveler's notebooks or something like that. And so when she went to YouTube, YouTube said, hey, we bet Rhonda might like to see this. And so that's how we get more of us, right? That's how we end up with more people and a bigger squirrel squad and one big happy family. So I love that. I love that that's how you found me, Rhonda. That's really awesome. 111 Renee's. I have a great memory. It's interesting. I never remember names, although yours I remember because I don't have a face to associate with it. I meet a lot of people in person from teaching. And so I always remember face, and a lot of times I can remember what we talked about last time when I saw you in person, but your name, sometimes it totally escapes me. So the memory of like how we connect, totally, I remember those things because connections are really important to me. So I remember those things, but faces, also important. Names, really, I mean, names are important too, but I'd rather remember the connection than the name. So remember that next time I see you and I'm like, oh friend, it's so good to see you. Generally, that's a little hint that I don't remember your name, but it's okay, right? It's okay. Steph, hi Steph. Steph said she finally got caught alive. She said, your work is amazing. Thank you. Michelle said, I heart your Merry sweatshirt. So it's a little sweater from J. Crew, and those are little sequins. All right, isn't that fun? I have an assortment of little holiday things like this because I think they're, they're fun. They're fun. And I wore it today when I went to lunch with my mom. Oh, Pamela, wonderful news. You had an early Christmas present. Pamela's had a number of hip surgeries, and she's she has shared with us it's been a rough go. And she said in the chat, she just got approval to drive again. She said, I feel so accomplished. Congratulations, Pamela. I know that's got to be huge. You probably feel like freedom now, right? You can go on your own if you choose, right? That's fantastic. Good for you. Very happy. Carolyn said, been a very busy fall. She's missed the lives. Well, we've missed you, Carolyn. Let's see. Oh, good. You guys are all doing that. Hi, Linda May. Nice to see you. Da, 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 da. Mimi said, thanks for having a Wednesday night listing session. Yeah, I think it's a lot of times Saturdays, you know, everybody has a different life, right? So sometimes Saturdays are great for people. Other people, Saturdays are horrible. So you never have the opportunity to catch a live. So this kind of gives us lots of people to catch, you know, live. So it's always fun to do live. Wanda, Vicky's live tonight too. I know, it's the exact same time. Isn't that funny? I had to be careful. I had to be extra careful tonight when I clicked go live because some of you were with me last week. Was it last week? I think it was last week for the Happy Day mini book class. And somehow, because she and I were live again at the same time, that when I think what happened was when I hit to go live, right before that, I must have accidentally hit whatever there was for her in my, you know, feed. And so I was live, but in the background, everyone watching could hear. Oh, it was a mess. It was a mess. But anyhow, I had to be very careful tonight not to do that. So I was good. I was good. Jane asked a great question. How does one thumbs up when watching on your phone? Jane, I have no idea. If someone could answer that, I would love it. Raquel, hi Raquel, nice to see you. Raquel, one of my friends from Puerto Rico. I love my friends from Puerto Rico. They're always just so, you know what, I would never say this word otherwise outside of this time of year because I don't know, jolly. I mean, it works well for Christmas, right? Jolly. You guys, the Puerto Ricans just have such like a, like verb for life. I love it. I love it. I love it. So nice to see you, Raquel. Okay. Let's see, friends. I mean, we could just sit here all night and I could just read the chat and we'd be interacting and I'd be chatting at you guys, but we won't do that. I'll just do a little bit more and then we'll flip the camera and start playing. Okay. April said we need Squirrel Squad shirt merch orders. So April, for a while there, I did have, on the website, I did have Squirrel Squad shirts that I did kind of like through a third party. So you would order and then that third party would fulfill them and all that. I'll maybe look at doing that again next year. We'll see. Oh, Deb, I love that. I love that. Thank you, bestie. Deb said, my bestie sang your praises, so here I am. See, I love that. Sharing with friends. That's such an easy thing. If you have a friend who does anything like this, to share with them. And that goes for anyone, you know, if you really like mixed media and you watch Vicky, then, oh my gosh, share Vicky with your friends because, you know, friends share. We should share the things that we like. Okay, let's see, friends. I am just going to read a couple more. Sharon said, hello, had a great week working on the Happy Day album. I love that. Pamela went shopping yesterday after PT. Well, you deserved it. I hope you bought yourself something nice. Carolyn's going cruising with Vicky in March. You will love it. You will love it. Love it, love it, love it. You love it. That'll be amazing. That will be amazing. Pamela said just exit the live chat, hit thumbs up, and then rejoin chat. Oh, perfect. Thank you. If you're watching from your phone, exit the live chat, the little chat part. So I think you can, I'm looking at my iPad, so I think just X in the upper right-hand corner and then hit, yeah. Or tap your phone screen, TM said. Okay. Oh, hi, Karen. Nice to see you. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for sharing that. I sure appreciate it. Anna's also kind of, lots of you. I love it that you're giving all that. I love it you're giving all that. Okay, friends, Josephine Designs and Healthy Living for Him on Keto. That's a mouthful. Hey, from Texas, I've been here and all just came on. Yay. Oh yes, Carolyn, I love that. Thank you. She said, hey, don't forget to plug in because she doesn't think Colleen is here tonight. And Colleen is always so good about reminding me. Okay, I think I got through all the chats. So if I missed you, just thank you. And thank you for being here. If you ever write something in the chat and you really want to make sure I see it, if you put it in all caps, then I tend to, like when I glance up, that it just kind of stands out. Especially then when I rotate the camera. Once I rotate the camera and we start working, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of just glance up because I don't have, it's just easier. Just trust me, it's easier. It is easier. And Jane figured out the thumbs up, so thank you. She said thank you, so thank you guys for piping in. Yes, Linda, Linda May. I can't call you Linda. I can't call you Linda. I have to call you Linda May. Yes, we are listing. We're just chatting now for a bit, but yes, we are listing. Okay, friends. So let me just think about some little housekeeping items. We right now are planning on listing the remaining 3 Saturdays in the year of 2023 December. And I say that because you could be watching this, for all I know, in 2028 on a Tuesday in July. So plan right now is we are listing the 16th, 23rd, and 30th of December. So those are Saturdays, our regular bat time, regular bat channel. That's the plan. We will continue to be doing Christmas lists. I will always make sure in our next 3 weeks that we do at least one non-Christmas list. So if Christmas isn't your thing and you just want to come hang out, then that's fine. Just know that there will always be, I'll try to always do, we'll see, one non-Christmas list. I have not yet put out the listing schedule for kind of the first quarter, the first 3 months of 2024. So I will do that within the next week or so, and then start watching for that. You'll see a post on the blog about that, and then you will see pretty much at the bottom of every email I send out. I'll also put it in the Layle by Mail Facebook page and the Facebook group, and I will pin those to the top of both, so you can see if you're ever wondering when we're listing. So there'll be a couple times in January that we aren't for sure, and a couple times in February. Those are all not work trips, so that's good, because I'm work tripped out for a while. Okay, what else? Oh, I know, one more thing about giveaways. So tonight we are doing giveaways. As I mentioned, there'll be 3 live and 3 after party, but we also still have giveaways from last Saturday when we were together. So if you haven't had a chance, even if you don't watch the video, okay, even if you don't want to watch the video, only have a little bit of time and don't want to watch the whole thing, you can go back to the video from the 2nd, okay, back to the video from the 2nd. That's the last time we were listening together, and leave a comment on that video, because before I get going this Saturday, the 16th, too many days, I will draw 3 random lucky winners from that. Anyhow, lots of opportunities for giveaways. Okay. I know Carolyn said, can't believe it's almost 2024. Isn't it crazy? It is crazy. I know. Crazy. Oh, Rhonda, I love that. Rhonda said, I have learned that not all memories require a photo. So if you're like me, I'm a scrapbooker. I have been a scrapbooker. I've been scrapbooking for 26 years. Since our son Jack, well, now more than 26, probably 26 and a half when I was pregnant with him. So scrapbooking has pretty much always been my world. And if you haven't heard me share this little story, I'll just share it really quick and then we'll move on. And if you have, go grab your beverage or whatever you'd like. But I'd always been a scrapbooker. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a scrapbooker. I really consider what we do here is still scrapbooking, but sometimes that word has a totally different connotation, that you might think we need to be like 98 years old in order to scrapbook, right? No. But as I got older and as our kids got older, Jack and Sam, and as they, kind of flew the coop, left the nest, and had their own lives, right? I found it more and more difficult for me to scrapbook the way that I had been scrapbooking for the, past, 24 years or whatever it was, before Sam kind of moved out and started doing his own thing. I started finding it more and more difficult, and I still loved the hobby, loved it, but I was kind of a little bit of a loss because I didn't quite know how to continue doing what I loved when I'd always been scrapbooking them, right? That's a lot of us. If you have kids or grandkids or pets that are your kids, furry friends, or, a lot of people started scrapbooking because of kids or grandkids. So once they're still kids, they're always kids, but they weren't my center of attention anymore because they had their own lives, right? And so I had to kind of figure out for me, how can I keep doing what I love and not abandon the hobby, but make it work a little bit better for me, right? And that's when kind of this whole creative listing came about. So I've been a list maker my whole life, literally probably came out of the womb with the pen and pencil. But I've always made lists, and they've always been to get what's stuck in my head here on paper, because I carry a lot of things up here, like a lot of us do. And the things when they're up here stress me out because they're floating around and I kind of don't really know what's up there, and they come in and out and I forget and things like that. So I would always make lists to get it out of my head and on paper, and then I wouldn't stress or be so anxious about the things, because I could always look at a to-do list or the shopping list or the, whatever it was. I could always look at the list to, remember what I needed to do. And then that started to evolve maybe like 7 years ago into creative listing. A friend of mine, well, she wasn't a friend of mine back then, but certainly evolved into one. Corey Speaker. Some of you know Corey Speaker, the Reset Girl. She did a couple of months worth of something called Listers Got a List. And I stumbled upon that one day, picked up, back then was a traveler's notebook. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know what I was using, and started making lists. And then creative lists, right? Playing, and those lists were a little bit more about me. And that's kind of how my whole way of scrapbooking, memory keeping has evolved into what I do today, which is creative listing. So sometimes they have photos, sometimes they don't, but it doesn't matter whether they're photos or not. I am telling a story, right? And I'm telling a story that in a lot of cases has never been told because it's my story. When the kids were young, I was always telling their story. I wasn't often telling my story, but this is, when we list, it's my story, right? It's what I wanted to be when I grew up, and the jobs I would have loved to have, and the jobs I could never have, and things I'm looking forward to next year, and countries I've visited, and I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. So they're stories about me that now I'm getting kind of out of my, just in here, and putting out there for my family to, look at one day and maybe learn a little bit more about me. So that's what we do in a nutshell. I don't know, a 10-minute nutshell. What's Nick? Oh Lordy, what's Nick doing? You gave me the idea. Oh yeah, it's always Nick's ideas. Always Nick's ideas. He jokes, oh, we came up with some great listing topics today. I'm like, oh really, honey, what are those? I always tell him, he should come in here and do one. Yeah, no, he won't. Although one time he did come in and stamp. Yeah, it was funny. Although, yeah, it was funny because it made me look bad. It didn't really make me look bad, but I was struggling with the stamp, and he's like, what's your problem? And he came in, I'm like, here, you think it's so easy, you do it. And he stamped, and it was perfect. It was funny. He don't think he's ever picked up a stamp in his life. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Louisa said, now that I'm a pseudo empty nester, I want to document our stories again. I love the listing idea as I'm not a good writer. That's the other thing.
Just take this whole thing over right now.
You want to take it over? Really?
It'll be an early ending.
It'll be an early ending, yeah. He said, I don't know if you guys could hear that. I just take this whole thing over right now, but it'd be an early ending. Okay.
Somebody thinks there's not a time, but I am going to keep up with something tonight.
Right. Okay. All right. So one other thing I'm going to mention about that, I think what makes what we do, the creative listing, a really doable concept is that in a lot of cases, because I've been teaching scrapbooking classes for probably 17 years, a lot of people don't like to write. They don't like to journal. They don't like to write in any of their projects because they don't know what to say. And they feel like they have to be Ernest Hemingway, and then they do this beautiful soliloquy, eloquently written, and sound perfect. And that's hard, right? That's hard. It's harder for some people than others. So I always say, whether you're doing what we do on a list, or you scrapbook, whether you do 12 by 12 layouts, whatever it is, try making a list on that scrapbook page or the layout instead of feeling like you have to journal. So maybe you go to Disneyland, and instead of trying to journal about the trip, you could say, these were our top 10 rides. These were our top favorite. These are my top 4 memories. These are the top 5 foods. These are, whatever it is. So make lists in your documenting or journaling instead of, the feeling you have to do a little mini novella. All right. Let's go, because I could, stand here and talk for lots of time. Wanda said, Nick only wants to do it because it's dark outside and he can't play golf. Yes. Hi, Annie. Annie said, afternoon all. I'm WFH, New Zealand, and doing a sneaky watch while working. I love that. Hi, Yo Mama Dog 365. Carolyn. Yes? I'm going to get it. I know it. Okay, friends, let's do this. Let's go ahead and I'm going to turn off the overhead lights, move the little lights a bit, and then flip the camera and plug in, and then we will get going. I was thinking about this the other day. Some of you that have been with me a while, hang on. Some of you that have been with me a while I experimented with a streaming service in the middle of the pandemic called StreamYard, and it was kind of cool because I could push a button and the camera would just like rotate, flip on its own. Let me do this. I could push a button and the camera would flip, rotate on its own. And then I could, kind of alternate back and forth between that. And it even had the ability that you could like see me even if I was doing this in a little window, you could also see me. And I had feedback from some of you guys that part was really cool. The downside was you could not see what I was writing. And so, you could see, but it was blurry. That just type of technology, hang on, I just gotta adjust the lights a bit. That type of technology isn't really meant for being able to see really, really up close like that. So, but I sure missed that. I was trying to think the other day, I don't know, at some point here, if I had lots more time, I would do some more research into how to actually find a service that would do that, because I think that'd be pretty cool. Because it's just clunky when I'm like, okay, I gotta flip the camera now, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Oh yeah, jazz game, so we're gonna lose Nick. That's good. That is good. Okay. Let's see. Hang on. Miss Waddell said that's so close to my story. I found Corey the same year my youngest left for college. It was a rough year, and Corey's listing helped me get through it. As I hear from some of you, and it's not everyone certainly, but as I hear from some of you, some of us are in kind of that same stage of life right now where kids or maybe grandkids or maybe job or things are changing enough in your life that you kind of were looking for something that would help you continue doing the hobby that you love, whether it's and I just say memory keeping, right? So, but I do hear that. It's a very common theme or thread that I hear when you guys reach out. Okay, so you're not alone. You are not alone. All right, let's take a look at the list that we did when we were together last. So we were together last listing on December 2nd. And so we did 3 lists. I kind of look here in my little handy dandy notebook. So I remember exactly which ones we did. We did 3 lists. We did About Last Month for November. So About Last Month is a list that we do at the beginning of a new month, and we document or list, right? List, it's just a run-on list of the things that happened the prior month. So we did this December 2nd, and it was my list for November. I pretty much do the same format for an entire year. So this has kind of been the format for 2023, using the 2023 About Last Month stamp set. I kind of sometimes vary the configuration of the photos over here, but I'm always usually adding some little embellishments, some washi or something along the bottom, and call it good, right? So run on list, that's what that list is all about. But it's nice because I now have, I'm gonna say almost 4 years worth, 4 years, 20, 23, 3 years, I don't know, of these lists for every month. So I can go back in November of 2020 and tell you exactly what happened that month. Kind of fun. So that was the first list that we did last month, about last month. That was the first list. No, we did at the beginning of this month. It feels like last month. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Hi, Teresa. Teresa said, I'm sorry I'm late. You guys never apologize if you get here after I start, and never apologize if you leave before I end. I say this is like one big open house. So come and go as you please. She said, I knew there was something I was going to do tonight. If you guys haven't subscribed on YouTube, click the subscribe to my channel. You can also click the notification bell, and then that will tell you, it will email you and remind you that I am going live. So that's kind of a nice little feature there. So if you forget, then you can do that. All right, second list reminds me of Christmas. So this one I had not finished when we stopped on Saturday. I think, was the University of Utah playing football that day? I want to say maybe. And so I'm like, oh, I want to go watch the game. So we were about 3 hours, and I'm like, no, we're good. I'll finish this later, and I'll show you guys next time we're together. So now we're together again. But reminds me of Christmas. I used Paige Evans' Sugar Plum Wishes collection. Such a fun, just cute, whimsical collection. And did another run-on list, okay? I did another run-on list because the run-on lists are easy. When I say a run-on list, I basically just write something and then put a little bullet stamp in between it and write. So used the remnants. So I here used a 6x8 piece of paper as my background. But I had to trim it because my insert is only 5 inches wide. So that was the extra that I trimmed off. This is a super easy technique for only using one piece of 6x8 paper, but having your spread kind of really gel together because I just took the piece that was left over. After we were together, I added that little strip of washi. So the little strip of washi just kind of delineates a little bit more between the pattern paper and the rest of my list. But there you have it, right? So it reminds me of Christmas. This is a list that is a really easy one to do because it's just really a lot of things, just your memory, right? Just your memory. This would be a fun one that you could incorporate maybe over the holidays if you're spending time with family or friends. Just have a conversation around the dinner table. What reminds you of Christmas? What are your favorite Christmas memories? What are your kind of things? Some of the things that I had talked about, one of them was the Sears catalog. Anytime I see like the Sears catalog, and they really don't exist anymore, but if you see them online or whatever, that reminds me so much of Christmas. So if when my sister's here this holiday for Christmas, if we were all sitting around the dinner table and I said, oh my gosh, reminds me of Christmas, Sears catalog. And we would just go off on that. Probably my mom would too. She'd be like, oh, I remember, it would come in the mail and you guys would sit on the shag carpet when we were in Texas and you would dog ear all the pages, but then I had to give you 2 different color pens. So one knew what one was. And that was like your little wish list of everything that you wanted for Christmas because it was the Sears catalog, right? Now, don't kid yourself. I'm not looking at the tools. I'm looking at like the clothes and the toys and things like that. So kind of a fun, right? Just a fun little way to not only document your memories, but then also incorporate them into conversations that you have with other people. Because there are a lot of us here that are around the same age, you know, like 25, that remember the Sears catalog. Teresa said Sears was the Amazon of that time. 100%, right? That was like our wish list. That was back then. That was the Amazon wish list. You just dog ear the pages of the Sears catalog. So Tracy's Treasure said, exciting and all-nighter. I will tell you guys, not sleeping very well again. And so I woke up this morning at 3:50 a.m. and did not go back to sleep. So this will not be an all-nighter, I promise you. We put our name by what we wanted in the catalog, right? Lisa, I used to circle everything in the Sears catalog, right? That's so true. So true. I love it. I love it. Okay. So that was our second list that we did last week. And then the third list we did not get to. The third list is one of the lists that we will be doing today. The third list was things I never thought I'd do as a parent. So, that was this. This is how far we got. I got it all decorated and then I'm like, now I gotta go. So this is one of the lists we will be finishing again today. And when I publish the list topics on the blog, I always like to give you alternate selections or ideas, right? Because you may not be a parent. Or you're like, well, this doesn't really apply to me, even if I am a parent. You could say things I thought I'd never do as a woman, as a man, as a employee, as a friend, as a daughters of the, what's that? Daughters of the, I don't even remember, pioneer, no, whatever it is. You know what I mean. Anything, as a volunteer for something, as a teacher, whatever your profession is. So it's basically fill in the blank. Things I thought I'd never do as a pet owner could be one, right? You just kind of fill in the blank if parent doesn't work for you. So a lot of times our list topics can be really kind of flexible. You do you, I always say. All right. So, gosh, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like it's been, it feels like we were together after that. Because I'm like, really? Is that all I've done? That's all I've done. One thing that I thought I would show you, and this has to do with listing. A lot of times I get asked this question every year in December. And that question is, okay, Layle, we know you do a project called December Daily or December Documented, where you are documenting every day December 1 through 25, right? So how do you decide, or do you put things in both? Like, do you document in this project? Then do you also document in your lists in my traveler's notebook? Or if I have a story to tell in one, do I do it in both? Or how does that work? So I thought I would just show you something. I thought I'd show you a couple things about that. And this may give you some ideas. Whether you're used to listing and want to do this, or whether you want to do this and you're used to listing, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? So one of the things that I do every year in this project is I talk about Sam. Sam is our younger son. His birthday is December 4th. It's December 4th every year. So this is the 16th year I've done a project like this, which means every year in this type of project, December 4th is about Sam. Now, I always tell the story about something that we do called the birthday door. So here you have Sam in 2007 on the left, and here you have Sam on his birthday to 2023 on the right. He's standing in front of a door that has been decorated like a giant present. So I tell that story here, right? Because I tell that story here every year, but that doesn't mean that I can't somehow tell the story in my traveler's notebooks as well. So in the idea book, one of the lists that we did in the last couple of years is in the family chapter. I hope it's in the family chapter. I should have looked at this. This always happens to me. 54, because I just thought this is one thing I want to show you, because there's more things I want to show you here. Oh yes, okay. So in the family chapter of the idea book, there is a list that we did in September of 2021 called Family Traditions. And one of the things I talked about was the birthday door. And look there is that same picture of Sam from 2007, and then a picture of Jack in also 2007. Yeah, that date's wrong. It says 2007. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, so this is an example of where I kind of tell the same story, but in different formats, in different places at different times. So I just saw a comment. Jane said, I also get confused where to put things, right? So guess what? You do what works for you. Sometimes if I really liked something that I did in here, I might decide, you know what, I also want to put that in my traveler's notebook. An example of that would be, hang on. This one. This was the 11th. So this was, what, 2 days ago. I did a to-do list, right? So you guys know sometimes we do to-do lists in our listing when we get together, but sometimes there are a lot of things that are happening in December, and every couple of years I'll do a to-do list. So this to-do list is in my December daily, right? These are things that I need to do still during the holidays. So I made a list, but it's also kind of fun because it's cute and decorative. It fits into my overall project, but it's also functional, right? These are the things I need to do. But it also is very much a time capsule, right? Because it's things like this. Plan C, that's Nick's mom, my mother-in-law, Plan C's 80th. So we're doing something for her 80th. So very much a time capsule on kind of things that are going on and happening. So this particular list, I don't know, I may end up doing it again in one of my traveler's notebooks because it's, you know, they're different places, and sometimes it's fun to have the same thing or similar things in different places. And so that was just a little 2-pager. The other thing I wanted to show you guys about this list, and we'll use this stamp set tonight, is those little stamps there. Those are the Mini Icons Holiday, okay? Actually, let me show you this one instead. The Mini Icons Holiday stamp set, because this is one of the giveaways, okay? This will be given away live in the chat. It will also be given away in the after party, meaning that you leave a comment on the video once it's over, and I'll also give one of those away. So this is our first live giveaway. And if you're not familiar with the live giveaways, what I do there is in the next, I don't know, few minutes, I will scroll up in the chat, and wherever my finger stops, that will be who wins, okay? So, but they're fun, and they're, you can kind of see them there. nice and detailed, right? Nice, thin and intricate, but you could use those in a couple different ways. Like here, I just kind of stamped them as little bullets, but you could also stamp them in black and color them in, or alternate the colors or whatever you want to do. All right. Those were, wait, was there one more thing in here? Was there one more thing? Oh, there is, but I'm going to come back to it in a minute. All right, so let's get going, friends. We're going to come back to this list in a minute. I want to start with our first two lists first, because our first two lists, I'm going to be using the product that you see here. And that is Vicky's Peppermint Kisses collection. Okay, so that is her holiday collection for this year. And we haven't used it yet, so I thought, well, this will be fun. Let's use it. So this is going to be a 2-page list for me, all right? 2-page list. I am getting towards the end of my insert, right? I'm only have a few more pages. Whoopsie. Oh, there's a cute little bow. I only have a couple more pages. So once I start to get towards the end of an insert, I kind of work with it a little bit differently. I will create my lists off the page, so I'll create them here, and then I will adhere them in the book, because it just makes it a little bit easier in my insert there. All right, so my first list is today looks like this. Okay, today looks like this. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to get the product for that out. Well, this product's here, but I need to get a couple of things out that I use every time we do this list. So this is a list that I call kind of an on repeat list, meaning this is a list that we do frequently. We do this list once a month. And today it looks like this. This year, hint, hint, this year has been based around this 4x6 pad from Everyday Explorer. So this one is available on my website. You'll see it linked in the description box of the video below. Well, you'll see it if you click on the what I'm using, and then I'll take you to the website. So all year long, I have used one of these, like so. All year long, I have used the 2023 die cuts from 2023 month die cuts from Ellie's Studio. These I am now sold out of, but we are kind of done with 2023. This will be the last 2023 list I do of this. So, but there are now available, because I ordered them from Ellie. There are, oh, I know why this isn't going to be in here. This is actually the 13th time I've done this list. This is the 13th time I've done this list, because I first did it in December of 2022. So normally I would be using one of the script or cursive fonts in the month, but I used December already for December, the first time we did it. So I'll use that just short little guy right there, that short little December. And then I use a chipboard number. Chipboard numbers are this pack of Cocoa chipboard numbers from Felicity Jane. These are still available on my website, because I ordered lots of them before they shut down. The way that I do this list, let me pull the last time we did this. I pick a day, and oh, there we go. I pick a day, and I basically just write down everything I did that day. And that's what today looks like, this looks like. So I always use the paper from the pad, one of the month die cuts, and a number. And then whatever I do beyond that is just whatever I do. In 2024, I will totally mix that process up, because in 2024, there will be a brand new stamp set that is called, I think it's called What a Day. It's one of my new stamp sets. You haven't seen it yet. It's the last changes are being made to it as we speak. And then I will put my sample order in. So that will be available in January as part of my January stamp release. But in 2024, that's what I'll be using, that stamp set, to kind of continue this process. But it'll look totally different. All right, so chipboard numbers. I pick a date, as I mentioned. If you're doing something like this, an idea would be to in the package, write down the numbers that you have used, okay? So that, learned this the hard way, right? That's why I have 2 packages here. As you were thinking about doing something like this, if you are using the chipboard numbers, pick a date that you haven't already used the number for, right? So I picked the 8th for this month, so I will be documenting December 8th. All right, let me get those things out of the way. Yes, a little spoiler, right? A little spoiler. Tabitha, hi Tabitha, said, I like this list. Really cool for my daughter to look back on in 20 years. Adeline, and I'm sure, right? You think about that. If I always say with this list, and with a lot of our lists, but with this list, if I had a list like this, I better stop right now. I'll totally forget the giveaway. Okay, put a pin in that one really quick. So I'm stopping, and the winner is Laura. Oh, I promise you it's totally random. Laura said, need to place an order. Been sick as a dog. First day I felt sort of human. Well, Laura, I'm glad that you were the random lucky winner because you've been sick. So Laura, congratulations. You are the random lucky winner of the Mini Icons Holidays stamp set. So Laura, shoot me an email, okay? laylebymail@gmail.com. And in the subject line, put winner, Mini Icons Holidays, and then put your address in the body of the email, and we'll get that sent out to you. And if you're going to place an order, just let me know, and then I'll waive the shipping on the order because I would have shipped you that anyway. So congratulations, congrats. Carolyn said, did the year in review kit go up yet, Layle? Carolyn, it has not. The 2024 year in review kit will go up for pre-order late December. I'm waiting to see the final design changes also on the 2024 About Last Month stamp set. And then those will go to order, and I will get my sample for that. That's the last-ish thing I'm waiting for that kit. So I need the stamp set because so much of the project revolves around the stamp set. So it'll go for pre-order late December, and then it will ship probably 3rd weekish in January, and then we will do the class in early February. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back. What Tabitha was saying. She said her daughter was going to love looking at a list like this in 20 years, right? What did my mom do? Like, what was a typical day like for her 20 years ago? I always say, a lot of our lists, but especially this one, I wish I had this list my grandmother had done in the 40s. I wish had this list my mother had done in the 70s. Heck, I wish I had this list that I had done like in the 80s when I was in high school. Like, how cool would that be to look back on? How things change so much. Now, I think another kind of way that you could take this list, and this is something I did when the boys were little, especially when I was brand new mom with Jack, since he was our first. I had, well, I was very type A, well, still, but Lily was watching the boy, Jack back then, and because I was full-time working mom, I had her write down, I had a little form that she would fill out like everything he did that day. So you could even kind of take a twist on this and do this about your kids or your grandkids. Wouldn't it be cool to look back on, a full year, one day a month on, what they were doing. And I think they'd have kind of fun looking back on that, years to come as well. Okay, anyhow. All right, so, I don't need that right now. So let me look at my little sketch. Here's my little sketch right here, okay? My little sketch. So I need 2 pieces of pattern paper. This is going to be a 2-page list. Sometimes it's just a 1, sometimes it's 2. So I know I'm going to use this in another list tonight, so I'll put that off to the side. These right here, oh, love those. So this collection is Vicky's Peppermint Kisses. This is starting to get down to the bare bones, you guys. So if you haven't picked it up and are looking to pick it up, then I suggest you don't wait too long because I don't have that much of it left. Let's see. Oh, Kelly, there we go. Kelly said, really cute papers. Who is the manufacturer? Vicky Booten's Christmas line this year. All right, so this is gonna be a 2-pager. The way I'm going to decide what is the left page and what is the right page is this. I'm gonna scrap lift myself a little bit. This is a page that was part of my December daily on the 7th. So this was the back of the 7th, or also could also be part of the 8th. And these are pieces from the Peppermint Kisses paper repack. And so there's not a lot that I have to put on a second page, but I'd still kind of like it to be a second page. And what really works about this, because that little calendar piece says December, I thought, well, you know what? I can kind of scrap lift myself and use that on a second page. So that's what I'm going to do. So now, with that in mind, I think I will probably have this be my right page. Like this will be over here like this, although I do need to trim that, right? And then that can probably go there. And then let's see which one of these we like. I'm such a sucker for a like candy cane stripe like that. I love it, love it, love it. All right, so this is actually many of the pieces that you saw on my desk, either in the flat lay or in when I did the unboxing, are from the paper repack. So look at, if I kind of look, might as well. If I liked it in here, I might as well like it there too, right? No one's ever gonna know that I did it here and then did it here. And if really, are they gonna say something if they see it twice? I don't think so. All right, so that's my thought. I think I'm gonna do the red stripe because as much as I love this green, I think, oh yeah, right? That's a no-brainer. With that holly there, that is a no-brainer. That needs to be the red. So there we go. Oh, trimmer. Trimmer might be good. Let's get our trimmer out. So some of you, I'm sure I need to apologize because those of you in the East Coast, you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be late. Because it's already like 9 o'clock for you in the East Coast. I'm in Utah, Mountain Time Zone, so it's 7 here. But then also, I started at 5 Pacific, which some of you West Coast are like, oh my gosh, I'm still working, or oh my gosh, I have to feed the dog, or my kids, or husband, or myself, or whatever it is. So we kind of just get in the middle there. All right, when I am starting in a 6x8 pad, so this paper came from a 6x8 pad, I'm always trimming the papers down to 4 3/4 wide. And I do 4 3/4 wide because the inserts that I use are standard wide. They are 5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. That's why you see me predominantly use 6x8 pads in my traveler's notebooks, because look at, like, perfect size. I just had to trim the width a little bit. And like we saw on that first list I showed you, or second one from last week, I can always even take that little extra and kind of make it one paper work on a 2-page spread. So there we go. That's what I will do to that side. And then I need this one. I'll also trim this guy. 4 3/4 wide, and that's what I do because my inserts are 5 inches wide. It gives a nice little white border all the way around. All right, so we know this will go here. And this has a little bit of, because it's coming from a gummed pad, I'm going to just trim the top of that just a little tiny bit because there's a little bit of that gum on the pad, like a notepad or something like that. It's held, the pages are held together by that little kind of gummy stuff. So there we go. All right. That guy. And I'm not even going to worry about that little hole up there. If I wanted to, I could certainly trim that so it didn't look so much like a tag, but I don't think I need to. Unless, yeah, I think we'll just leave it like that. I mean, it worked on the other one. Might as well work on this one too, right? If I liked it before, I could like it again. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere that. This list is a little bit unusual in that I am not using any white cardstock. Generally, I'm either making my list directly on the insert itself, like I did here, or I'm doing it on white cardstock, which then I mat or adhere to a piece of pattern paper. But in this case, with this list, I don't need to do either because I have this little guy is just kind of going to be my little decorative element on this page. And then there's my list on that other page. All right. Hi, Denise. Nice to see you. And another Denise. Denise Dufresne and then Denise. Welcome, Denise's. Welcome, Denise Squared. What am I looking for? Where's my... So about this time of year, things get a little crazy up in here because I'm working upstairs and I'm also working downstairs. That's where I do most of my December daily stuff is downstairs because it's too hard to try to be doing things like this upstairs and my December daily at the same time upstairs is just too much. So last year, I don't know, 16 years I've done a December daily. Last year, finally I had an epiphany. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all this room downstairs. Why don't I do my December daily downstairs and then do my regular stuff upstairs? Made so much more sense. I'm going to grab but I think sometimes what happens is some things end up upstairs and some things end up downstairs because I'm upstairs and they don't make it back up. Anyhow, you know. All right, I'm going to round the outside corners. This is the right page, so I'm going to round the outside right corners. And I want to do that because, well, I like to do that because the pages on my inserts are rounded. So then it kind of matches that a little bit. Just a girl and her paper. Lindsay H said, yes, 9 p.m. about time to hit the hay. I know, right? You can always watch the replay later if you want. Scrapbook Sister. I thought I was going to list tonight, but I'm sleepy, so I'm going to watch until I'm not watching anymore. And guess what? Best thing about that is if you snore, Scrapbook Sister, we won't hear you and you're all good, right? They're all good. Okay. Okay. Yes, holly makes it totally festive, doesn't it? Right? Just that little bit of red and green in there. Okay, so here we go. This is the left page, so I'm rounding the outside left corners. All right. So one thing I thought I might switch up just a tad here, since I have that calendar for December, I thought, you know what, if I wanted, I could put this over here. That might be kind of fun to have that. My 8 on this side, because then it kind of makes more sense. Oh, look, it's a calendar. It's the 8th. Today looks like this. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. But then what that means here is normally I have my number normally goes down right there, right? So then I'm like, well, shoot, what should I put there? But then I'm like, oh, look at Vicky made these awesome, cuter than cute, like little stamp looking pieces. These are also from the papery pack. So everything so far, papery, 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 and then it's obviously the paper pack. But I thought this could be kind of fun. Couldn't that be kind of fun to put that down there maybe? And especially since I already used December from the pack, since I already used the long written out version. Okay, where'd it go? Where's my little DEC? Where did it go? All right, friend. Oh, here it is. Okay. So then this could maybe still kind of go down there. That one could work. Or I just love that little one so much. But you know what I think? I don't know. This one kind of, I think, coordinates a little bit better just because it's kind of the stripe. But I just like this guy. I don't know. I'm going to do it. Even though this one coordinates better, I like that one. So that's what I'm going to use. All right, so let's go ahead and put our adhesive on the back of this little pad. When you're listing, I always say there's really only 2 things you need. All of this is just fluff, right? There's really only 2 things that you need when you are listing. You need something to write with and something to write on. Having a little pad like that certainly makes it easier because then I kind of have a pre-planned out way that I know I'm going to do it. But like I said, all this is fluff. Get a piece of paper, get a composition notebook. It really could just be like a piece of paper and you could make your list, right? So you get to decide what product it is that you want to play with, if anything. If anything, that was a little bit crooked. Let's see if I can lift that up and it's going to be my friend still. If not, oh yeah, my tool that I use to lift that up is also downstairs. That's right. Just lift a little, lift a little. All right, let's try that again. I'm just going to move it a little bit closer to me. Okay, if I move it a little bit closer to me, then I have more of a bird's eye view. So a little thing about me, when I work, whether I am picking orders, whether I'm making labels for shipping orders, whether I am listing, whether I'm teaching, even teaching virtual, I am always standing, okay? I am always standing. So I'm standing right now. I have always, when I craft, I've always stand because I get like a bird's eye view. It's a little bit easier for me to see and make things straight. Once it starts to make its way up here a little bit, I lose a little bit more of that bird's eye view because I'm not looking directly over it. So if I need to pull it back towards me sometimes, then that's why. Then you know why. All right, so here's a little DEC. And this type of list, you can make it as, I won't say complicated because none of this is complicated. I mean, really none of what we do is complicated, right? It's all just if I want to add more stuff. So you can make things as simple as you'd like, or you can make things as like crazy as you'd like. Yeah, I still don't love that, but I still like it. I want to just use that little guy. I think he's just so cute, that little reindeer. So my little tape runner from, some of you were with me when I dropped it on the ground, the brand new one. Of course, it's being a little finicky. It's being a little finicky on me, but that's all right. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Oh, I just had an idea. Let me look. Let me see. This might be a little much. It might be a little overkill. Yeah, it's a little overkill. Are there black pieces from that? I'm gonna say maybe, I think. Are there green pieces? Okay, this is way too big. So yeah, that one won't work for sure. All right. I thought I had pieces out from the goodie bag. That's what it's called. It's called the Peppermint Kisses goodie bag. I thought maybe there were some, hang on. Oh, I was right. There are some black pieces, kind of like blackery. Instead of greenery, it's like blackery. No, too much. You can tell I'm just not quite set yet on that guy, but guess what? We're gonna be set in a minute. We're gonna be set now in a minute. No. Does that help? No, because it's just more white. Now that's like craziness. That's all craziness, maybe. I already put my adhesive on there. Yeah, that's too much. You know what, Layle? Just get over it. Get over it. We don't have all night, so get over it. Get over it. That's just gonna go right about there. All right? Okay. One thing I think I might be able to do, I think what is like causing me unease with that is that pattern on pattern. Now, if you know me, I use a lot of white. So that pattern on pattern is kind of freaking me out a bit. But maybe if I just do a little bit more outline in here, well, it's not going to hurt it. It may not help it, but it doesn't really help it. But that's all right. That's all right. So outlining is what I do to kind of, sometimes you need to temper the white because there's so much white that you need to just give it a little ending point. And that is, for me, what I feel like outlining does. All right, and then other side. So an example of that while I'm outlining, that big old white piece of paper from that paper pad. Once I outline it, it helps to kind of just make it blend a little bit better, I think. All right, let's see. Oh, how about, oh, okay, now I see it. How about just a snowflake? Well, Karen, I looked up later. So, you mean something like this, like if a big old snowflake went there, right? See, I mean, if I could still pull it up maybe. Like that guy, we really wouldn't see. And this guy's like ginormous. Well, let's look. Let's just look. This will have to be really gentle with because it's thin. Giant snowflake. You know what? I like it. I'm gonna do it. It's a little big. It feels like it's a little big, but guess what? I think that's probably what I have to work with. I know there are more snowflakes in the paper repack for sure. Not the paper repack, the goodie bag. There are more snowflakes in the goodie bag, but I have everything just kind of dumped in here. So, I say we're just gonna go with that. I won't look anymore for snowflakes because I could be looking for a while. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Sometimes the more things that we have don't necessarily, don't necessarily, okay, that guy needs some work from when I dropped it. So let me just grab a backup. Okay, this should work for us for tonight. All right. Maybe, what did I just do there? My heavens, come on, Layle. There we go. Okay. Not my friend this evening. The adhesive is not my friend tonight. All right, there we go. And then our little 8's gonna go over here. Our little 8 will go there. Still very bottom heavy, but oh well. So 8, the chipboard. Chipboard sometimes can feel a little chunky, feel like maybe a little bit too much in your traveler's notebooks. And so one of the things that you can do if you want to use chipboard is to thin it out a bit. And the way that I thin it out a bit, chipboard is just like layers of paper, right? Layers of heavier paper. So if I can start to separate some of those layers, see how those layers just start to peel off? If I start to separate, oh, my garbage. Hang tight. I need my little garbage can. I'm not gonna get too far without that. Let's see. I don't know if I know. I don't know if I know. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. All right. So I can just come in here and separate some of the layers. So I'll still get kind of, oopsie, don't separate too far. Well, actually, if I separate too far, I could just have like 1 or 2 layers, which might be a little bit harder to work with. Someone, I don't know, maybe Carmen? I don't know if Carmen's here tonight. Maybe Carmen. Last year when I was doing my December documented class, I had used in that project kit a set of Vicky's chipboard numbers, and they were super chunky. They were super thick, lots of layers of chipboard. And so it was making the book super thick, which, you know, isn't a bad thing until you've got lots of stuff to add. And then, and I think it was Carmen said, hey, you know what? You could peel off some of the layers and then you'd still have that really cute number, but then it's not as thick. So that's what we're doing. I'm just add oh yeah, don't use that. Get that way out of here. I don't know. I might have to have, yeah, I'm probably going to have Nick go get me another one. I shouldn't do that on there because this is not my usual tool that I use. Okay, hang on. Bear with me one moment. Guess what's coming out? The squirrel bell. Honey, will you come grab something for me? Yes. Have you guys seen that? Some of you have seen that, I know. Some of you have seen that. That is a squirrel bell that Deborah Crater sent me. One day I said, oh my gosh, Nick's in the other room. I need him to grab something for me. And she said, you need a bell. And I said, I do need a bell. And so she sent me that. Will you do me a favor and downstairs on like table where I'm working on December Daily, will you grab the other one of these? Remember when this fell on the ground? Then maybe you could take it and see if you can fix it. I do have liquid bell. Gabby said, LOL, I need a bell. And Teresa said, do you have liquid glue? I do have liquid glue. I'm going to just use a little bit of that glue pen here. All right, let's get this guy down about right there. Okay, there we go. There's a lot going on in this spread. It's pretty busy. It's pretty busy right now for Layle, but that's okay. I I always do a
Button going on the hand?
date stamp. What?
What
What are you talking
This is the
about?
one you need?
Yes, thank you. That one will you take and see if it's like stuck in there. Something's going on from when I dropped it. Okay, we're back in business. Okay. Under the date, I have my roller date stamp. This was for December 8th. Do yourself a favor before you stamp. Make sure you have the correct date, because usually what happens in my head, I'm like, oh, today's the 13th, and I stamp the 13th. But it's the 8th. So let's grab our little. Actually, we'll just do that over here. Oh, oopsie. Need some black ink. It's funny at about, Nick's like, are y'all ready to go? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fine. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's really Saturday for me. It's not Wednesday. Wednesday nights, I'm used to, it takes me like, 5 minutes to prep because I just grab all the new stuff because I'm showing you all the new stuff. I'm like, oh no, wait, this is not Wednesday. This is really a Saturday in terms of what we're doing. So I need to make sure I've got my stuff ready. December 8th. Okay. So that little guy is going to go right here under the date. Oopsie, I kind of bobbled that a little bit. Oh, it's okay. Good. Phew. Phew. All right. Then the mood. Well, the mood was lucky. I wish it was more lucky, but it was lucky. At least I thought it was lucky. This is a list. It's always a list. All right, I have 10 things there, but I have 10 things on my list, but I don't have room for 10, unless I went up here. But I think what I want to do right there, I'm going to do a little stamp. I'm going to do one of the holiday or the word strip holiday stamp sets. So not stamp sets, stamp. I'm going to use one of these guys, and that, not the used one. A new one is the second of tonight's live giveaways. All right, the word strips holiday stamp set, that fun 3x4 stamp set. So you know the drill. In a few minutes, I will stop what I'm doing. I will scroll back up the chat, and wherever my finger stops, we'll have a random lucky winner of that guy. Now, if you don't win it, don't be sad, because, well, there's two reasons not to be sad. Number one, I'm doing the same giveaways in the after party, meaning when the video is over, leave a comment. And Saturday, I'll draw the winners. But if you don't win there, you can also get them on the website. All right, so I think I'm going to do one of these guys. Let's see. Deck the halls. Oh, I know. How about Oh, What Fun? Oh, What Fun would be the perfect one to use to document December 8th, because
There's no rescuing that.
What?
No rescuing.
There's no rescuing it? Okay, will you grab me another insert for it? The tape? Okay, so just the tape got thrown away. The insert, the cartridge, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Oh, stamping block. If you have, well, sometimes some of you, when you do a class with me that's at night, well, I'm usually pretty together then, because I know what I'm doing, right? I have a plan. I am following something I've already designed, so it usually goes pretty smoothly. When we do listing at night, sometimes I get a little off track, just because it's nighttime, right? It's the end of the day. All right, so what I just did, let's talk about what I just did there really quickly. That is that Oh, What Fun word strip stamp. When you are working on a little word strip stamp like this, because it's narrow, right? It's narrow. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to get it placed on your stamping block so that it is even, right? So it's not like dipping on one end or the other. So a little trick for that is to take your stamp and put it on your work surface. So the stamp side down, flat side up. Take your little stamping block and pick it up. All right, pick it up like that. So that is now straight. I don't have a droopy one end or the other. But that also, while I'm using that, see that? That's one of my new products. That is a 1.625 inch wide round acrylic stamping block. All right, So now, is it halftime, honey?
No,
No? Did you pause it?
no.
No? Okay, so just ink that up. I always, before I do anything, what do? I always test, right? Always, always, always test. Always want to test to make sure that it's what you want to use. Always make test to, I know that broke
The whole
too.
thing's broken.
But I think it'll work still. Okay, never
The
mind.
reason it keeps getting screwed up because this thing's not here and it's not holding this in the right place.
Oh, okay.
But it will continue to do what you just had to do.
Okay.
So you just start
Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Party pooper.
If you wouldn't throw it on the ground out of 8 fits of anger when you're
I was
mad at me, it
probably
wouldn't
mad
be
at you and threw it on the ground. No, don't just disregard us. It's just 28 and a half years of marriage, right? Aye. Okay. So always test stamp it first. You want to make sure that it's straight. You want to make sure there's no fuzz or lint in the stamp. You want to make sure you get a feel for the pressure. Okay, so different stamps require different pressure. Well, really. If it's a larger solid stamp, you may need to leave it a little bit more pressure. But when it's a really kind of fine stamp like that, you need to know how much pressure you need to apply before you're kind of on your project. Because the last thing you want to do is this. Go, oh, this is really thin. I better press down really hard. So look what happens when you press down really hard. Now, I really exaggerated that. I mean, it's not bad, but that's not how the stamp was designed. I didn't design it to be all chunky like that. I designed it to be nice and thin. So one of the benefits of testing, and I recommend that you do first, is always do a test stamp first so you can get a feel for the amount of pressure you need to apply. Because if I'm not going for that and I don't realize that I don't need to apply anywhere near that much pressure and I put that on my project that way, then it kind of is what it is, right? Kind of is what it is. So that's another reason to stamp, is to get a good feel for the pressure that you need to apply. I mean, test stamp. Get a good feel for the pressure that you need to apply. So we'll just do a nice little oh what fun right there, okay? All right, so I need to stop right now, scroll up, and the winner is Kathy Oppenborn. Kathy Oppenborn. Kathy. Congratulations, you are the random lucky winner of that word stripped holiday stamp set. Shoot me an email, laylebymail@gmail.com. In the subject line, please put winner, word strip holiday stamp set, and then include your shipping address, your mailing address in the body of the email, and we'll get your little prize sent out to you. Okay. Did I see you went see? Yes, Justine, we did go to see you too in Vegas. We did. It was total last minute, last Tuesday. So on the 5th, we decided, originally we were trying to take our RV out for one last kind of weekend this year. But when you live in the snow area, you have already winterized your RV or your trailer or whatever it is, because you can't have any water in it because it will freeze and then the pipes will freeze. So you have to get all the water out, blow antifreeze through and all of that so the pipes don't freeze. So if you want to take it somewhere and you want to have running water on board, which is the whole idea because you have a shower and a toilet and a kitchen and all that, you want to de-winterize it and put water on board. But that means you have to go somewhere where it's warm enough that it doesn't freeze at night. So this time of year gets a little sketchy. We decided Monday we're abandoning trying to go on Harvey, and Tuesday we're like, you know what, maybe we should go to Vegas. So we live in Utah. Vegas is like an hour and a half barely flight. Nick and I both travel a lot for jobs, businesses, and so we have miles. So we flew free on miles. And hotel-wise, used points to stay at a hotel. So it made what would otherwise be kind of an expensive trip when you factor in hotel and you factor in airfare. We didn't have to factor any of that in because we, could use points and miles. So yes, we did go. We pulled the trigger on that on Tuesday and we flew out Friday morning, which was very fun, very spontaneous. So we did. We saw you two on the 9th. So that will not be part of my list. But what will be part of my list is while we were in Vegas, right? So I need to grab a couple of, I'm going to grab bullet stamps. I need some bullet stamps. I need a bullet stamp. let's see. I know what I'm going to do, I think. I think I'm going to do Bullets and More too. This is probably my most used stamp set. I use this stamp set all of the time. So you can see when I use yellow on it, then the stamps turn a little bit yellow. Doesn't hurt them, but I use yellow a lot. I think I'm going to use this little holly right here. And I'm going to use the Bullets stamp set on this list and not the mini holiday icons, because that is so big that if I try to use that there, that is completely going to cover up like 2 lines instead of 1 line, and then I don't want it to do that. So I am taking that little tiny holly bullet stamp. I'm taking the stylus. Okay, hold on. I know I missed tons of comments because I was doing a giveaway. So Karen, you're going to Vegas 2 days after Christmas. Have an amazing time. Have an amazing time. Debbie, I probably missed you. Good night. Gabby said Vegas is calling her. Janine and your cousin went to see you too over the weekend. That's fun. I probably saw your cousin there. I mean, maybe. Yeah, the Spirit was amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, so here we go. I'm using the stylus. If you are new to me or you're new to the stylus is one of my products that I had designed and manufactured. It is a stamping block, but it's a stamping block for your little teeny bullet stamps. Okay, so if you're trying to stamp on your little teeny bullet stamp, even if you have your very smallest stamping block, let's say even this guy could be my smallest stamping block. This would still work, but look it's kind of at no man's land on there, right? And if I don't have something small like that and I'm trying to use something like this, I can certainly use that, but it's such a small stamp. It's going to make my life so much easier if I have a little tiny stamping block. Now, the reason that this little tiny stamping block is as long as it is, right, is because could you imagine if I had this little thing and I'm trying to hold on to it with my little fingers? That would be pretty much impossible. So I have a shape and a length and a circumference, diameter, I don't know, whatever circumference, that is, I'm very used to because it's like a pen, right? It's kind of like a pen. So my hand is very used to it. I stick my little bullet stamp down there on the end. Now this is the new and improved version of the stylus. You can't get the OG version anymore on my website because I took them off, because the new and improved version is now manufactured in a country where, China, they can laser polish the ends, okay? So now the bottom and the side laser polished, which makes it a lot easier for your little stamp to stick, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I am going to, let's see. Let me see if I want to do green, because it's holly, right? Might want to do green. That I was just using. That Rustic Wilderness is what I used on, Rustic Wilderness is what I used on that list that I showed you, the to-do list in my December daily. So I think I will use that guy. And my little holly will be green. So let's see what we think about green holly. Oh yes, it is so cute. Right, look at, there's my just little green holly stamp. So those will bullet the things on my list. Okay, so we'll go like this. Like that. Like that. Look how easy that makes it, right? Makes that so stinking easy. I'm just going back up there and re-inking every time. Oh yeah, I don't want to put anything there. I started going a little sideways there. All right, so now for the things on my list. That day, I'm up at 5 a.m. to pack orders. Because, you know, got to get that done before I left town. You guys would not be very happy with me. We had a 11:20 a.m. flight to Las Vegas. Now, this is definitely not a typical day, right? I don't fly to Las Vegas every day. So not a typical day, but I thought it'd be fun to do kind of a different type of day because usually I'm just doing typical days. We had lunch at a place at our hotel where we were called the Dog House, DAWG House. It's like a sports bar type place. Then we walked to the Bellagio Hotel. I don't know. I think that day I had like 19,000 steps. That's the thing about Vegas. Everything looks like it's so close, and you think, oh yeah, we can walk there. And then you walk and walk and walk. And then you get to the casino and you walk and walk and walk. And then you walk around and then, yes. So like 20,000 steps that day. We walked to the Bellagio. Then the reason we went to the Bellagio, I wanted to go to the Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. 4 times a year, inside the Bellagio, they have a Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. Everything in there, it's almost like a Rose Bowl float. No, nothing is afloat, right? Everything is fixed, but all of the giant displays there are done out of flowers, and it's amazing. This year, for this time of year, the holidays, the theme was the Nutcracker. So you had probably like a 2-story tall Clara. I think that's her name, right? Clara from the Nutcracker. That she's doing a little pirouette just constantly, and she's all made out of flowers. I mean, it's amazing. So I'm like, Nick, we need to go do this. And Nick hadn't been walked through there before. I'm like, we got to go do this. And he's like, that's really cool. I'm glad we did that. Was the December calendar in the Dear Santa collection. This December calendar, is that what you mean, Wanda? This guy is in the Peppermint Kisses Papery Pack. Peppermint Kisses Papery Pack. Denise said, no, would not be happy if you did not pack orders before you left. Right, I know. Because you know what? Here's the thing. I'm the boss. I can do whatever I want, right? But if I was you, I would want my order fast. So anyhow, so went to the Conservatory of Botanical Gardens. We had a cocktail after that. A cocktail, and we played video blackjack. I don't have much of a stomach for gambling. I like the idea of winning a lot of money, but you can't go to Vegas thinking you're going to win, right? So I'd rather spend money on a really nice meal or going to the U2 concert as opposed to just basically handing my money over to the casino. But what I am comfortable with, sitting in one of their beautiful bars and playing video blackjack, because you could put $20 in and you can bet like a quarter at a time, which that's my speed. So cocktail and video blackjack. And then we went back to the hotel and we had some appetizers and played gin cards. Nick and I played gin. And then we had dinner at a restaurant called Brezza, which is Italian. And then again, we had another cocktail, Vegas cocktail, and played some more video blackjack. And then went to bed. So that is kind of what my day looked like for December 8th. Now, this side's pretty plain. I feel like I need something else over here. So let's just see. We have this out. Holidays. I like having a word there, I think. I think I like having best time of the year. That could go there. That is also, everything I have out is either from the papery, so that stuff I'm using, and then that little guy was from, that snowflake is from the goodie bag. So I do know that there are some more words in here from the papery pack. Cheers. Cheers is kind of big. I think it's too big, and it's also vellum. It's a cool thing about the papery pack. Papery pack has vellum pieces, right? So like those things, kind of cloudy. vellum. So those pieces are vellum. And then it also has acetate pieces, so kind of clear pieces. That's why I keep moving this out of the way, because it keeps reflecting, like that little guy. And then there's also like cardstock pieces. So like that little guy is cardstock. All right, so holidays. Best time of the year. I don't know. I feel like I need something a little bit less white. I feel like that is a little bit too white. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a little bit too white. So I think I'm just going to do this guy. I think I'm going to do this best time of the year. Do I still have the kit? The kit. So which kit, Denise? Oh, I don't want to put that down quite yet because I want to make sure that I can kind of center it. So if I work with my little tweezers, then I can center it a little bit better. Let's see, that looks like it'll be about right. But it is a sticker, it's a washi sticker. Okay, so it is a little bit transparent. Washi sticker. Oh my gosh, it was a fun trip, yes. Wanda said, are the shows in Vegas expensive? Wanda, it depends. It depends on what expensive is. Also depends on where you sit. Also depends on where you get your tickets, okay? So it totally varies, totally varies. And the Sphere was amazing, Renee. So if you guys don't know what the Sphere is in Vegas, it's brand new and it is a huge giant dome and it is inside. And the inside of it, there are LED panels, but you don't know they're LED panels. There are panels that go basically from the floor all the way to the top of the domed ceiling. Google it. And those panels, there's stuff, it's like giant TV. So it is one of the coolest things I have ever seen. It's pretty amazing. Now it should be because it costs billions of dollars for them to make it. The items on this list. Okay, Denise. So yes, should be. If you click in the description box of the video on the link that says what I'm using, it will take you to a page on the website of the products I'm using. Right up at the very beginning, you should see the Peppermint Kisses paper pad. You'll see the Today Looks Like This pad. You will see the chipboard numbers. You won't see those anymore because 2023 is sold out. But you'll see a 2024 version of that. And then the paper repack, which is that piece, that piece, that piece, that piece. And then that's from the goodie bag. So yes, they should still be in stock. As of earlier today, they were. Okay, friends. So I think I think it's pretty good. I'm going to call it good. I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to leave it alone because, sometimes we could just kind of keep messing with things and keep adding, but I think I should just leave it alone. Unless I want to put that there. Maybe not. What if I put this here? I don't know. I feel like it needs a little something there. Oh, what about that little guy? Now it's too small. We're just playing. We're just playing. All right, I think I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to be done. That is chipboard. I mean, not chipboard. That is a die cut. So that's one of the pieces from the paper repack. I mean, the goodie bag. The goodie bag, not the paper repack. All right, there we go. So the list is done. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to add it to the Traveler's Notebook insert. So earlier I was saying, if you joined us beyond when I was saying that, when I start to get this deep into an insert, I will create off the page. That's what I call this. These are created off the page. And then I will adhere them in because it's much easier to work with them this way once you're dealing with this. Like this, it starts to go around that little curve. One thing before I adhere that I do want to add, I am going to bring in some double-sided tape. I'm going to put a strip of double-sided tape right along just this edge. And the reason I'm going to do that is this little list has to kind of come around that little curve right there a little bit, right? There's so many pages in here that have been done that it kind of needs to go around the curve. If I don't do that, then this is just going to kind of stick straight out and it's going to look odd. And I know from experience that My regular tape runner will not hold that down. It's just, it's too much bulk. So if I run that bead, oh, I feel like I'm about ready to break a fingernail. If I run that bead right along that edge, then that should give me what I need. That is not the fixed one. That is the one I had downstairs. All right, so here we go. Oh, I'm going to, that's my double-sided tape. I'm just going to reveal part of it. If I just reveal part of it, the sticky's just part of it, I rotated that right hand. It's easier for me to rotate. If I just reveal part of it, I have a little bit of wiggle room before I really commit. Little, no, not enough. Not enough. It's because I have adhesive everywhere else. All right, there we go. And then I'll just pull that little protective out and now press that down. So that strong adhesive will now make sure that that list just follows that curve right there. All right, so there we go. There is the left side, and then I can just use my regular adhesive, my tape runner, for the right side. And that'll just go right here. Kathy asked a great question in the chat. Kathy's talking about art glitter glue. And she said, have you ever had your art glitter glue turn watery? And if so, why is that? Denise said, also, would you consider doing a traveler's notebook cruise? I could, Denise, I could consider it. I have never really considered it. I really haven't considered it, but I can. I just have to figure out when, right? And then I'd have to figure out, oh my gosh, where would we want to go? During the pandemic, when we were all just, in various stages of, oh my goodness, what in the world is going on with the world? We were joking a lot about, oh my gosh, what could we do? Where could we go? Wouldn't it be amazing if we could all get together? And then people are like, we should do it, we should do it, we should do it. And then I've just never really pursued anything like that because it's a lot. It is a lot with everything else that I do. But I could certainly reach out to my friend Vicky and say, hey, Vicky, I need you to put me in touch with Crop and Cruise or whoever you work with. And I know she would share all the little deets with me. And the nice thing about doing a cruise as opposed to like an in-person event is with the cruise, it's already kind of planned, right? You don't have to find the location. You don't have to find a hotel. You don't have to find the city. You don't have to find all those things. So it makes it a little bit easier from a planning perspective. All right, first list is done. Rhonda said, I'm down for a cruise. Count me in. I know it would be a lot of fun, right? It would be lots of fun. Oh, April, look at that. April, I think, is asking Wanda's question about whether they're expensive. Wanda, she said they can be. Our hotel upgraded us when we went. The seats were amazing. Super thankful for the advantage of tipping the concierge, or however you spell it, right? And you know what? Here's the last thing I'll say about that. If you are in a city or you are flexible enough that you can go and try to buy tickets like right then, a lot of times there'll be scalpers outside of the venue that they've paid for the tickets, right? And if they don't sell the tickets that night, then they have eaten the entire cost. So sometimes night of, you can get a pretty good deal. It's just you have to be flexible enough. And we weren't flexible enough to do that because that's the whole reason we went. So there are definitely tricks out there. For sure, tricks out there. James just said she just did a cruise and crop in October. It was fantastic. Mary Lee said, I've never been on a cruise. Shay said, wish I didn't get seasick. Shay, you and me both. I get seasick. So I would have to have that figured out for sure, right? Because that would not be well. Could you imagine that? Oh, where's Layle? Oh, she's sick again in her room. She's cannot keep anything down. That would not be good, would it? Be like, now what did you do on this cruise? Oh, well, we did all the cruise things, but we didn't do any crafting because Layle was sick. Okay, first list. Second list. Now, the nice thing about not too worried about time, it is 7:45 my time, 6:45 Pacific. And you can do the math for all the other ones, but I usually use Pacific time. This one will be a very easy list for me to do because guess what? I already did all the decorating when we were together a couple of weeks ago. So this is a no-brainer one. This one for me is going to be a run-on list. So really quick, gosh, it's like a whole night about Mickey tonight because This collection that I used when we were together a couple weeks ago, this is Discover and Create. This is her Discover and Create collection, which is really awesome. It's really fun. And it is kind of doesn't really have a theme to it. So it can be used for lots of different types of lists. And that was a little sticker that came from one of the Comfort and Joy clear sticker sheets. Okay, so on this one, I also need a bullet stamp. Oh, really quick public service announcement. It is a very good idea, especially all of your stamps, but especially with these little guys, put them back. Put them back right away. Once you're done using them, put them back in whatever you're using to store the stamps in, because those little guys will be like the little meatball that on top of spaghetti rolled off the, that little song when we were little kids. You will lose those little stamps. They'll just disappear from your world because they'll come off the sheet because they're so small. So put them back. I think what I'm going to do on this one, so there's kind of a lot going on, I'm going to go to the OG, the original Bullets and More stamp set, and I am going to use just a little old regular circle, just the regular old little bullet. This was one of the very first stamp sets that I did. Again, lots of yellow. I actually used. That's why this is yellowing. My stamp sets don't yellow, but I did a list in the past where I did lots of yellow with the numbers and those little things, kind of a lot of it. So that's why, if you can see, they look a little yellow. That's why. All right. So let's do the same thing again. We're going to take the little stylus, pop that little stamp on the stylus. And I think we'll just use, I don't want to use black because I'll do my writing in black. I don't want to use black. So, you know what I would always say I'd want to use? I'd always want to use yellow because I love using yellow, but probably not a good idea since my pencil is yellow. It'll just look kind of a little odd. So what if we do kind of that color, that bluish color? Wonder if I can find an ink. These are all my swatches. I've swatched all of my Distress Oxides using my Swatch This Inks stamp set. I know there's something light blue like that. What about that? Speckled Egg. That's pretty darn close. This is a little bit darker, but I don't think, maybe Tumbled Glass. I think Tumbled Glass, no, not Salvage Patina for sure. But where's Tumbled Glass? Tumbled Glass, I think Speckled Egg. I think I'd like to use Speckled Egg. So all those are swatched. So look at how much easier it is for me to look through that little swatch book, if you will, versus pull all these guys out and try to figure, which is the right blue. Louisa said, I get motion sickness. I'll take meds to help with it. Absolutely. Jennifer says cruises on her bucket list. Mimi said, on a cruise, once you get out in the middle of the ocean, you cannot feel the boat moving at all. Yes, as long as it's not rough waters. If it's rough waters, then oh my heck. Rhonda said you would be surprised how smooth a cruise ship is. We were stuck at sea during Hurricane Harvey and the ship goes around the storms. Oh, right. Right, that's their business. They want everybody to be healthy and fun and having fun and playing, right? All right, so there's my little, just regular old bullet stamp, right? And let's just see. It's going to be a little bit darker, right? But I think it'll be okay. I mean, it's pretty darn close. All right, so things I thought I'd never do as a parent. If you are listing with me, even if you're not listing with me, is there something that you would say? Something you thought that you would never do as a parent, and here you are doing it. Or maybe it's something you never thought you'd do as a teacher. Marilee's a teacher. Maybe she never thought she'd do this as a teacher, or as a student, or as a homemaker, or a wife, or a husband, or a spouse, or a partner, or an aunt, or grandma, or whatever it is. Sister, whatever, brother. Things I thought I'd never do as a parent. So I'm going to do my little list here. Mary J said, where is that typewriter from? That typewriter is from the Discover and Create Papery, the Papery pack. All right. So, let's see. Things I never thought I'd do as a parent. This is probably like the main one. Call one of them by the other one's name, or call one of them by the cat's name, right? Or call one of them by Nick's name. My mom used to do that when I was a little kid all the time. my sister is Lainey, and she'd be like, Lainey, Bandit, Timmy, blah, whoever you are, right? Those were our dogs, Bandit, Timmy, different names of dogs. So I was like, Mom, hello, don't you know my name? Now I totally get it, because you've got so much in your head that you don't know what is what. You're trying to just get the name out, hey, you, whatever it is. So I remember when I was a little kid, I'm like, of course I know my kids. I will never call them the wrong name. Yeah, one of the very first things, right? So call one by the other's name. Anyone else do that? Mimi said my mom did the same thing, right? Ms. L said, oh, isn't that so true? I never understood why my mom would get mixed up. Shay said, do crafts with child as an adult. I love that. Pam said, I would never say never, right? Oh, and then we're lots of talk about getting sick on a cruise. Ms. L said, I'm an empty nester and get confused between my husband, dog, and cat now. So true. So true. Tabitha said, I didn't have Adeline until I was 31 and I was already set in my ways. I thought I would be a military mom. No flexible. Do what I say when I say it. LOL. This cracks me up now. I know. Isn't that funny, right? We just think, right? You just think things. I mean, because when Nick and I were talking about this, it's a lot of times what we'll do is the morning, like on a Saturday, if we were going to do this list, he's like, what are your list topics today? And then we just chat and laugh about things. And, one of the things that oh shoot, now I totally forgot what I was going to say, but we were laughing about different things. So I could have put tons of things on this list, but now I don't remember what one of them was. I don't know where I was headed with that. So I'm just going to keep, Denise, compare them to each other. Yeah. Gabby said, I thought I would be stricter than I am. Marilee said, I've got Monica and Marissa, so it still happens quite often, right? Right. Okay. Tabitha, and I will tell you, I know how old Adeline is because you shared that with us before. And I would look at you if I do 31 and do the math. I would never think that you were 31 plus Adeline's age. You seriously look like you're maybe 21, and that's total compliment. And I've never met Tabitha in person. I've just, seen her picture on Facebook. Okay, call one by the other's name. Have only boys. I was convinced I was having a boy and a girl. Nick and I knew very early on that we only wanted 2 kids. Then we could each tackle one. And I was just certain I would have a boy and a girl. I was so certain I would have a boy and a girl that when I was pregnant with Jack, our oldest, for the very, first time, we were in Paris. And I was so certain Jack was a girl that in my head, Jack was Hannah. It was little girl Hannah. And I bought this beautiful little baby dress at a boutique in France. And guess what? Hannah was not Hannah. Hannah was Jack. And so then I'm like, oh, well, certainly second baby is going to be girl. And pregnancy was totally different. Once you have a boy the first time and you know what it looks like in an ultrasound, once they point everything out, you're like, oh. So when you have the ultrasound again and you see what you see and you know that you're only going to have 2 kids and now the second one is also a boy, and you start crying in the middle of the ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech is like, no, everything's okay, and anyhow, so we get in the car and I'm like, woo! Of course, I was being emotional and pregnant woman and whatever, because I was happy to know I was having a very healthy baby. Didn't matter the sex, but I was convinced, one boy, one girl. So we're in the car and I'm like crying, and Nick's like, well, and he's kind of hemming and hawing and stammering and everything. And he's like, well, I guess in the future we could, try for another baby. And I'm like, no, but I never pictured that it would just be boys and not a boy and a girl, but it was what was meant for us, 100% what was meant for us, and now I can't imagine it any other way. But I never thought we'd have only boys. Here is one that this took me up until I'd say, I bet a year ago to come to terms with this. This was a very hard one for me. And this is where I had to do a lot of soul searching. because it wasn't about me. I never thought, something I thought I'd never do as a parent was being okay with them not finishing college. That was a really hard one for me. So I gotta just think about this. Be okay with them not finishing college. Nick and I both went to college. Nick went further on and got his master's degree. And from even before the boys were born, we were already saving for college. That was in our head, that's what you do. You're going to go to college. You will be whatever after college you do, but you go to college. So Jack, our older son, started out in college, went to the University of Puget Sound, halfway through his junior year, and came to us and said, I can't do this anymore. And he was not in a good place. He was not in a good place. He said, I'm telling you, I have to leave college. I can't, this will not end well for me. And so we had a lot of anger and tears, and came to the realization that, you know what? First and foremost, your children have to be happy and healthy, right? And so we went through that. Everything was good. Jack's thriving. He's a chef. He's where he was supposed to be 100%. Sam started college in September of 2019. So you can see where this is headed. March of 2020 came home from college because of COVID. And a lot of soul searching. Did a semester, because back then when they were trying to do the online and nobody had a clue what they were doing, and it was a disaster to start. At least it was, for us. And Sam is not a learner like that. He is not an online learner, and that did not end well. It was very, very difficult for him. And I think that paired with younger generation really struggled with the pandemic, those first, 6 months. And he had to come home, and, it was very hard. And he, after that, came to us and said, I'm not going back. So that was probably I would say that's probably one of the hardest things as a parent that I have gone through with our kids, was dealing with that with both of them, and coming to the realization that it's not about me. It's about them, and what their path is, it's up to them. We said, as long as you're happy and healthy and you can support yourself, you can, whatever you want, happy, healthy, support yourself. And they're both doing great that way. But that was really, really hard. That was really hard. And you know what? It was a long time. I hate to even admit this. Before I could tell people, because they're no longer college age. They would have both graduated by now. So people don't ask, oh, where's your son going to school? Because they're beyond that age. But sometimes I didn't fully answer. I'd say, oh, Jack's up in Tacoma, University of Puget Sound. Okay, well, he was there. Didn't mean he finished it there, but it was really hard for me. That was a really, really, really hard thing for me. But we can't be defined by our children, and our children can't be defined by us. So I say, yep, they're both thriving. Sam's an electrician. Sam will probably out-earn all of us by many, many, many figures, just because he can do really well in that profession if he decides to really apply himself. So anyhow, yes. Elizabeth, look at Elizabeth said, I serve as an assistant VP of a university, and this literally makes my heart soar. Oh, Elizabeth, I would never think that. I mean, that is, I appreciate you for saying that, very much so. That was a very emotional time for us, incredibly emotional. So, yeah. But that, you know what? And that, you guys, this is how you know that I'm pretty much an open book. I mean, I've told you that 7 years ago, I quit smoking. Not many people in my life know that I did that. Well, that I smoked. So they certainly don't know that I stopped. But things like this, I don't walk around telling people that both my kids basically left, well, you could say left college, you could say dropped out, right? Because they both left college. That's not things that I share with the world, but I share it with you guys because I just feel like, I'm an open book, because this is part of a story that I am telling. And it really, for me, doesn't make sense for me to make this all fluff, right? Because it's not. So if I can't be honest with what I want to write down, then I really probably shouldn't do something like this, or do something like this with all of us together, because really I'm not doing myself any good, or my family someday, reading any of this, if it's all, rainbows and butterflies, right? Anyhow, so yes, 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 yes. Elizabeth, thank you again for telling me that. I love that so much. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so let's keep going. Other things. Admit I was wrong, right? Admit I was wrong. Kind of tied up into that a little bit, but guess what? As a parent, you think, well, I'm never going to be wrong. So I never thought I'd admit I was wrong. But heck yeah, I admit that all the time right now. Admit it all the time. Oh, Julie, you've lost your power 3 nights in a row. Oh, I'm sorry. That's no good. Mimi said, I get it, Layle. My 26-and-a-half-year-old son just graduated college. It was hard for me that he took so long, but everyone does it at his own pace, right? Absolutely, right? And you know what? College is not for everybody. I now know that. I now know that. All right. Here's another one, me being honest. Swear in front of them. Not proud of it, but I do. And for a long time when they were little, I was really good about not doing it. And I used the word Scheiße a lot, which is the, a swear word in German. But probably the very first time I was driving him to school, and I had my coffee cup, my to-go cup or whatever, in the cup holder. We rounded a corner, and the whole thing went flying and went all over the car. And it's coffee, and I like cream in my coffee. And so then you're thinking you've got like coffee with cream, like milk everywhere. And it just came out. It just came out. And they laughed so hard. They loved it. And you know what? I still do, because it's part of who I am, unfortunately. And you guys don't ever see that part of me, because I'm very, very, very careful that I don't, there's no place for me to be swearing in my business with friends, with customers, right? There's no place for that. I feel very strongly about that. But in my real life, you know what I mean? In my personal life, I swear all the time. And so that's just kind of them, right? It's kind of there. Cindy said, oh my, I cuss like a sailor. This made me laugh. April said, it's cool to see them spread their wings and find their way. I love hearing that it's weird for other moms in this too, right? Right. Karen said they will never have to worry about student loan debt like I do, Layle. Oh my goodness, Karen, I will be 78 years old when mine is paid off, and I only have an associate's degree, but I earned more because of it. Yeah, you know what? It is, it's when we had saved their whole lives, the nice thing is that with Sam, because he didn't use very much of it, we had a 508 or 503, I don't remember what it is, but like an education account. And they just changed the kind of laws around that, because you could only use it for education, or if you pulled it out, you'd pay pretty stiff penalties. But that you can now convert it into like an IRA. So we can convert it into a retirement savings account for Sam for one day, which is awesome. Anyhow, all right. So this was another one. When punishing them, say, this hurts me more than it hurts you. That's another one, my mom. Say, this hurts me more than it hurts you. I remember when I was young, and I would get in trouble because inevitably, there were a couple times when I got in some pretty good sized trouble. I was a good kid, but I could sit here and tell you guys stories for hours, but I won't, because this one take a little bit of time. Anyhow, I said I was staying at a friend's house, and 3 of us said we were staying at a friend's house, and the one friend was really lax parents, and so we just didn't go, and we were out with some boys in high school, until like midnight or what, I don't know. Anyhow, when we get to the friend's house, both other sets of parents, mine and my other friends, are sitting in the driveway because they figured out that we all lied. And anyhow, I remember I got punished for that because I lied, right? And I remember my parents saying, when they were my punishment, whatever, this hurts me more than it hurts you. And I remember thinking, yeah, right, whatever. I'm being grounded for 2 weeks. I can't talk on the phone or, whatever it was back then. But I have done that with my kids. I've said it, you know what? It's not easy for me to punish you. It really is hard as a parent. I don't want to punish you, but I know I have to. So I never thought I would say that. And you know what? I did. This is one I never thought I would be as involved as I was. As involved as I was in their high school sports. Sam played lacrosse, and I was on the lacrosse board. And Jack and Sam, Sam did a couple years and then stopped, but Jack, all 4 years, played football, and I was also on the football board. So in some cases, I would transition right from the football board into the lacrosse board. And if you have ever been involved in high school sports and being on boards and dealing with parents, and sometimes dealing with coaches and fundraising, and it is incredibly rewarding. And I still, when people like have kids that are at that age and are talking about their kids in sports, it makes me cry because I miss it so much. But oh my goodness, it was a lot of work. So I never thought. I had a friend who roped me into that, and I never thought I'd be as involved as I was, but I really, really enjoyed it most times. I never thought have cats. So things I never did as a parent: have cats, and then get a second cat because the first one was lonely. And that's a testament to, oh my gosh, when your kids are sad, they thought that the first cat was going to die because he was pulling all of his hair out of his entire, along one side of his tail, the entire length. And so they thought he was really sick. And they thought that cat was going to die. And the vet said, no, the cat's just lonely. And so we got another cat. So I never thought we'd have cats. And then I also never thought we'd have to get a second cat because the first one was lonely. Never even thought about that. This is another really hard one for me as a parent. I never thought miss Jack's first birthday. Never thought that would happen. I just inked the wrong end of my stylus. I had just changed jobs. I had moved from working for AT&T. I'd worked for AT&T for 8 years and left and started up a software company with 2 other guys. And I had been there for, I think, maybe 10 days and had to go to Nashville to pitch our software to a huge insurance company. And I didn't have choice. I did not have choice. And so I missed my first child's first birthday. There were lots of tears involved in that. And then both my mother and Nick were like, he doesn't know it's his birthday. He's not going to care if you were there the day after. He doesn't know. And so I realize that now. But, parents, we hold a lot of guilt. I never thought I'd missed my first child's first birthday. Tamara said, I'm in the middle of school stuff now. My son just started marching band this year. It has been a lot. And she did ALOT and all uppercase. And you know what? It is. It's anything involved with your kids in school can be so much. And the sad thing, at least for me, it can be so much because there are, unfortunately, there are a very small percentage of parents that are involved. So that's why it's a lot, because it's the small percentage of parents that it's like the 80-20 rule. 20% of the parents are doing like 1,000% of the work. You know what I mean? Let's see. Julie said, loved my son's football years, made great friends. In the first year after he graduated, every Friday night, I need a support group. I know, right? That was really hard. Maureen said, I love those days of hockey games and soccer games. Long over now as my son is 28, right? It's kind of like when you're in the middle of it, you're like, oh my gosh. Like in the middle of having like a newborn baby that doesn't sleep through the night. You're in the middle of it, you're like, I can't, how am I gonna deal with this? But when it's over, you're like, oh yeah, that wasn't that bad. I missed that. All right. Here's another one. I never thought I would pick up my child and smell his diaper to see if it was dirty, right? Never thought I'd do that. Never, never, but you know what? That's what you do, because sometimes that's how you know. It's easier just to know that way than take the diaper off and be like, oh, it's fine. All right. Another thing I never thought I'd do as a parent was have a 2-year-old with a broken bone. I was one of those judgy parents that would see a small child with a cast on and think, what in the heavens? Except I wouldn't say heavens, I'd use another word in my head. What in the you-know-what is wrong with that parent? Like, how irresponsible. How in the world could you let your child break a bone? Like, where are you? Until Sam was 2, and of course, of the 2, it would be Sam, because that's just his personality. Christmas Eve, like Christmas Adam, that's what we call it, Christmas Eve. He stood up on the bar stool. We're all eating at the counter. He's sitting. I believe we came back from that. I'm here. Okay, it's back. Here, hang tight. It's back. It's back. Back. I think, okay, hit the live. Hit the button. You can see me. Wait, you can see me, right? Okay, good. Oh my goodness, you guys, I can't believe we came back from that. So here's what happened. When you are streaming on your phone for 2 hours and 15 minutes and you do not have your phone plugged in, that's what happens. That's why it's so important that I remember to, when I flip the camera, when we first start, that's why it's so important that I remember to plug in. And someone did tell me that, hey, just remember when you flip the phone, Colleen's not here. Colleen is usually the one who reminds me to plug in. So totally forgot. Okay, so now wait a minute. How the story ends. 111 Renee's. I don't even remember what I was saying. What story was I saying? Remind me. Broken limb. Oh, right. Well, okay. So this is what I'm going to do really quick. I don't know where I got cut off, because generally what happens is I'm still talking. I don't know that I've been cut off. We know how much we appreciate Colleen right now, right? Because she always reminds me. So the stool. Oh yes. Okay. So what happened was, I think I was actually ended the story, but I think I had been cut off. I think the power died. So yeah, Sam stood up on the bar stool. I turned, literally was still right there. Turned, opened the fridge to get the milk out, and he stood up in the bar stool and it tipped over and he landed on his elbow. Now, while I'm going to finish telling the story in a minute, I'm going to add the date in this little space bar. I thought that'd be a cute little space for the date. And then I'm going to find a word strip sticker to go right here. So that's what I'm going to do. This would be, hang on, December 13th, right? 13, 2023. Okay, I'm going to find a word strip. So now the part of the story that is a little bit interesting is Sam had been diagnosed with something, maybe when he was about 9 months old, called nursemaid's elbow. Okay, called nursemaid's elbow. So nursemaid's elbow, his arms would come out of joint. And when it first started happening, maybe he was around 1 because he was fully walking. One day his arm is just like hanging there, dangling. And I'm like, what is going on? That's really weird. And then it was okay. Well, a couple days later, the other arm did it, and I'm like, oh, this is really bad. I thought there's something neurological wrong. Something is really, really wrong here. And so I made Nick go to the pediatrician with me because I thought I'm going to read that in a minute, Marilee. That's hilarious. I thought that it was something neurological because his arms kept dangling. So I go to the pediatrician's office. The pediatrician says, "Oh no, this is common, or I guess there's something called nursemaid's elbow, where his elbows are just like coming out of socket." And so you can pop them back in. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, I can't do that. And she said, well, you need to know how. And I looked at Nick and I said, you need to know how. And so Nick's like, okay, So she showed him how to pop elbow back in. Now you probably see where this is going, right? So Sam's standing, bar stool, lands on the ground, screaming, holding his elbow. He's just barely 2. And we think, oh, nursemaid's elbow. Yeah, so Nick tried to pop it back in. Well, broken. We didn't know till the next day that it was broken because the next morning, so he gave him, Tylenol and Motrin and alternated and everything you do when they're little. Next morning, swollen, and he's, clearly something's wrong. So we go and x-ray and find out it's broken. Yeah. And so then that's not your proudest moment as a parent, right? When you try to fix their broken elbow because you think it's something else. So now you have a 2-year-old who has a cast on his right arm. And so that is never easy. And it's, bent like this. It's bent like your elbow is. It's not hanging down. It's bent like this to keep it straight. So, I'd put him in the bathtub and have a grocery bag, rubber banded around the broken elbow. And did that a couple times. And one night, and I'm sitting there, of course, I'm like right next to him the entire time he's in the bathtub. And, he's playing and it's all nice and tight, or I think. And he he stands up in the bathtub and puts his arm down, as much as he can in a little cast. And water starts streaming out of his cast. And I'm like, oh, Lord, that's a bad thing. Well, what do? It's at night. So put him to bed. Wake up the next morning. Let me tell you, there is nothing at all in the world like a cast maybe 10 hours later that has been wet. Yeah, so we had to go and they had to cut it off, and then he got another one. Anyhow, that's just Sam for you. Okay, so things I thought I'd never do as a parent. I have this little white space here. What do I say when I have a little white space? I need to put something there. What do I put? I put a word strip sticker. If it looks like something's missing, the answer is a word strip sticker. So that's what I want there. I've pulled out small talk snarky. So there's a small talk and then there's small talk snarky. So I thought snarky might be fun to work with here. Let's see. Relax, we're all crazy. It's not a competition. That could work. Confession, my yoga pants have never been to yoga. They're pretty funny. One of us is right. The other one is you. I am silently correcting your grammar. Sorry I'm late. Didn't want to come. Today was going great. Tell people. I'm not childish. You're just a big duty head. That's kind of funny. Oh, I'm just looking for something that would fit. Both fit size-wise and would fit. Nothing says I mean business like using a cart at the liquor store. Never thought I'd take my kids to the liquor store, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Come on. Okay, I just need to pick something. Just pick something, Layle. Pick something. Wrinkled was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up. No. How about this one? This is kind of a funny one. I'd love to talk, but I'm in a hurry to get home so I can be alone. I'm sure there's something very funny associated with that. Like I probably never thought that I'd pretend like I was sick so I could just go lay down and read. I don't know if I ever did that, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get away from your kids. So I'm sure there's something like that that would work in well with there. So we'll make that work. I'd love to talk, but I'm in a hurry to get home so I can be alone. Maybe this needs to, oh yeah, I can't go over the pencil point. That will look weird. All right, there we go. See how that just kind of filled that space in perfectly? Tracy's Treasure said, my daughter just broke her foot, so I've been helping her with pickup if my grandson fits school pickup. Doesn't matter how close our older kids are, we are forever them for them. You know what? Totally true, right? Absolutely true. My mom would say that 100% too. Absolutely. She gave me some good advice today at lunch that I needed. So that was awesome. All right. So there's our second list, friends. Things I thought I'd never do as a parent. And again, if you're thinking, oh, that's kind of fun, I'd kind of like to do that list, but I'm not a parent, or I don't really want to do the list about being a parent, fill in the blank. Make that be whatever it is. Maybe you own your own business. Things I thought I'd never do as a business owner. Marilee, I have to read this. That reminded me. Marilee left a really funny chat. She said, on the pooping note, never thought I'd be okay cupping my baby's vomit. Could never handle my students, but somehow immune to my own kiddos. Oh my goodness, right? The things we do, right? The things we do. The things we do. Tamara said, my almost 2-year-old sliced his cheek with scissors and had to get stitches. The ER was looking at us pretty hard. It sucked so bad. Yeah, right? And you know what? It's amazing. They're little buggers. I mean, it can happen in a second. Literally, it can happen in a second. Again, a whole new appreciation. You can't really judge until you've been there. All right. So yes, I used Discover and Create. We didn't go through that whole process of building that list. I just wrote the list, but I had created that previously when we were together on the second using the Discover and Create collection, another Vicky collection. All right. So here we go. Last list. What I am going to do for the last list is a list that Cassie Friesen sent me an email a couple months ago and said, hey, I have a couple of list ideas that I'd like to share with you, because I love it when you guys do that, right? I love it. I'm always looking for new list ideas. And so we did one of her list ideas a couple of months ago. It was, this one. Favorites. So we do, I don't know, a couple times a year, maybe a favorite list. And the favorite list could be like your favorite movies or your favorite books or your favorite shopping places, your favorite people, whatever. Thank you. Yes, Mimi, look it. Mimi said, put the bullet stamp away. Because, right, you know what would happen? That would end up falling off. And later I'd be like, oh my gosh, where's my bullet stamp? And you know why? Look it. You may have noticed I have 2 bullet stamp sets in here. Look it. Missing. Because I didn't put them away. Actually, one of those is there. Nope, there's another one missing. Actually, there's another one that actually belongs on this stamp set. So yes, put your stamps away. Put your stamps away. Always clean them and put them away, or else you'll be very sad because you'll go to use them and then they will not be there. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you. Okay. Anyhow, this one was fun because it was a mixture of a whole bunch of favorite things, like favorite time of day of week, favorite season, month, holiday, food, country. Oh, not country, music minus country. So that was a totally different way to do a favorites list. It was a list of a whole bunch of different favorite things. So one of her other suggestions was kind of like a My Life in Numbers. All right, My Life in Numbers. So we a couple times have done at the end of a year, kind of a year in numbers type of list. But this one would be like my life in numbers, okay? My life in numbers. So things like maybe how old you are, maybe how many kids you have, maybe how many different jobs you've had, things like that. So that is the plan for this list. Hi, Kathy. Oh, Kathy, no one can feel any kind of sorry for you at all. Kathy said, catching you late, but Hawaii time messed me up. I would very much like to be on Hawaii time right now. Oh my gosh. Well, let's be honest. I could be on any time. If I was in Hawaii, then it wouldn't matter. I'd want to be on Hawaii time. All right. So this list is kind of like my life in numbers. So what I thought, it's a pretty generic list, right? It's a generic list. It would be more generic like this, but I thought, you know what? It's Christmas time and we're doing this list at Christmas. So I'm going to use Christmas again to do this list. And I'm going to because I knew we wouldn't have like forever to work tonight. I thought I will continue to use the Peppermint Kisses collection that I was using before. So that's my plan. Do you want to see my sketch for this one? That's a lot. You know what that is? That paper. See the trees. That's what I'm going to put on the one page. So all of my list will be 2 pages. It's going to kind of be like this one in that there'll just be a little bit of decoration over here, but all the lists will be over here. And I don't always do that. I've probably started doing that more and more over the last couple of years because I know that most of you tell me you are not comfortable. You don't necessarily feel comfortable doing something like this. 2 different lists, 2 different pages, 2 totally different looks, 2 totally different collections, right? I'm totally okay with this. This doesn't bother me at all, but I know some people have a really hard time doing something like that. So I'd say probably more and more lately, I just end up doing double page lists. So that's my plan here. I'm going to trim this paper because this paper needs to be 4 3/4 wide. And I need to be thinking about how I trim this paper. I don't want to trim it here because I'll lose all of that tree. I'm better off trimming it over here. So that's my plan. So if I cut right there, then I'll have those nice little trees. Okay, so there we go. My nice little trees. That will be right page. And I think it's fun that I like the teal, right? The teal is kind of a non-traditional Christmas color, right? Kind of a little bit non-traditional, so that's kind of fun. I know here that I need to do something up in here because it is, I don't know, I have no clue what. I spent no time figuring out what might go up there. So that I may need to, I don't know, might have to wait to see what I put up there. Okay, other side. Now I need something for the other side, right? What if, I mean, if we really wanted to simplify things, Maureen said, Layle, have you ever done a Christmas grocery shopping list with prices? That might be fun. If not, that might be fun. So that could totally be fun, Maureen. We've done something a little bit. Let me look. Beginning and end, chapter 1, 11. Let's see if it would be there. I think it's here. It is. Okay. So something like this. Before I was saying, towards the end of the year, or maybe towards the beginning of a new year, we look back in the prior year. This one was 2021 by the numbers. So I did like average cost of a new house, average income, average new car cost, movie ticket, average rent, average gallon of gas, and a postage stamp. So did a little bit of pricing like that. Then also did, this was in November, kind of every prices of everyday items. So like gas, milk, movie, Netflix. At the time we were eating Dave's Killer Bread, whatever, ground beef, chicken. So kind of different versions of doing that, but that could totally be a fun thing to do too at Christmas time. There's a 2020 by the numbers, so similar to what we did on that one. But that's when we talk about time capsules, that's very much like a time capsule type list, right? Because it is a snapshot of situation at a particular point in time. All right, so I think I got to think about this. If I do this right here, then I have to be thinking about where I'm going to put the title. I mean, I could just do it like this, my life in numbers, and then write the things here. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Why not? If this little strip is coming on the left, I need to round the left corners, and I just rotated that because I'm right-handed, so it's easier for me to do that and then flip it back over. So that piece will go there, that piece will go there. I can go ahead and adhere this guy now. you can tell my brain's kind of like, I'm done. I'm not thinking so well anymore at the end of the day, especially when I've been up since 3:50 a.m. Wide awake. Wide awake. Say with a deep sigh. Okay. You know, if you ever have problems sleeping, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh, I don't even dare look at the clock because you're like, oh, what if it says like 3:50 like that? But sometimes you're pleasantly surprised. You're like, oh, yay, it's 6 a.m. That's good. All right, so we'll do a little bit of outlining here and run that right down along here. And then wind this right back around. Now, pretty much all of my washi tape for Christmas is downstairs in my December daily stuff. I think, well, actually, this might work. Would that work? I need something to go right along here. This could work. Let's see. So when we were looking at this list that I did a couple weeks ago, I added that little strip of washi right there just because then it just kind of finishes that harsh line. I feel like I need something like that there. So let's see. This washi, both of those are washi from same collection we've been working with, the Peppermint Kisses, Vicky's Peppermint Kisses. So let's look at this and see if we might like that. It's not leaving me a lot of room for my list, is it? But that's okay. I like that. Now, if I wanted, I could just lift this up really quick. And yeah, so if I put that there, so it's partially on the paper, that gives me more room here, but look at, then it totally kind of changes the look of the washi because washi's a little bit transparent, right? So I don't really like that look. So I'm going to just go with a thinner. We're just gonna go thin. Oh, but this I do need to, let me just make a quick little cut there so I have even lines. So that lines right up with that. Okay, ooh, that's not quite, it is not quite straight. So Mimi emailed me earlier today and she said, hey, Layle, we haven't done a currently list in a while. Do you have one? Are we gonna do one anytime soon? I said, actually, I have all of my lists already planned for Saturday and one of them is currently. So going back to Maureen's comment a minute ago, Jamie, oh my goodness. Jamie, okay, hold on. I'm just looking at the chat and I scrolled up for a minute and I saw my friend, I know she's my friend, Jamie Shepherd. Now I'm drawing a blank, so Jamie, hopefully you're still here. From the old Days with Lindsay, right? When we went to England together to film, right? Yes, that Jamie Shepherd, is that who it is? Oh, please tell me it is. I would love it. I love it. Okay, please. I hope to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh my goodness, that is so fun. Okay. Now I got totally off track, but if that's you, I'm so glad you said hi. And guess what? If it's a different Jamie Shepherd, then I'm still glad to see you and I still miss you too, Jamie. All right. What was I talking about here? Oh, I know. Okay, come full circle for a minute. So when Maureen said, have you ever done a Christmas grocery shopping list with prices? You could do that as a currently type list, right? You could do it as a currently type list and it could be currently, this is how much milk is currently and how much bread is currently and things like that. Nancy said, Layle, how do your nails stay chip-free so long? Is it a gel? 100% gel, Nancy, absolutely gel. 11 out of the 12 months of the year, it is always one color and it is not red. Red I just do for Christmas, but guess what? It's not really chip free because look at, there's a little chip right there. I have to go on Friday. And then this part, I've got something going on here that, anyway. Yes, in South Africa. Oh my gosh, Jamie, how could I forget South Africa? I mean, I didn't forget South Africa, but just London just stuck in my head because of the rental car that we were driving. Oh, my friend, I miss you. Oh, okay. Remind me of the company. What was the name that you and Lindsay did? What was it? Oh, so as I kind of figure out what I'm going to do here, Jamie and I were both working for companies at the time. Hazel and Ruby, yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Had the incredible opportunity to go to South Africa and teach classes there. And we were roomies, and oh my goodness, had the best time. I miss you. I hope things are well, my friend. I hope things are well. We need to catch up. So I don't even know how to get a hold of you. Shoot me an email, will you? Because I think I just had your Hazel and Ruby. Email, probably. Okay. So I'm going to remember, Mimi, if you're here on Saturday, remind me about the idea of doing currently with the prices, like Maureen kind of was talking about. All right, so here we go. I need a title. And I'm not going to do any stamping on here. Well, not for my title. I won't do any stamping for my title. Let's do, so my life in numbers, I'm going to pull out the, okay, hang on. I have to remember where I put it. Here we go, in one of the shelves. I am pulling out the Letter Scramble Alphas from, thank you, Jamie. Yes, we need to catch up. I'd love to go to lunch if you're still in Utah, or dinner or whatever. Okay, pulled out Letter Scramble, the alphabet stickers from Bella Boulevard, which are new, which I just love. These are the stickers that I used when we did this list right here. Oh, this one, right? I used for that one, things I'll never do again and things I'll do again. Then also, I use the different colors for everything on this list, but that. So I think I'll use just black for this, for the title, and I will write my life in, and then I will use black for the word numbers. Where is the black? These should be in my Roy G. Biv order. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, purple, violet, whichever. Oh, there it is. It was just stuck. Okay, so numbers. Now, which font would I like to use? I need to make sure I'll have room for it because I didn't leave myself very much room there, did I? I didn't leave myself very much room. Okay, let's look at this. It might need to be these guys. Might need to be these little skinnies. Let's see what happens. I am going to, oh, Mimi, I can't make it on Saturday. Someone else, okay, let's do this, watch. Here we go, currently, Christmas. I will do prices, and that was Maureen. Right, I don't need you to remind me, I could just write it in my little handy dandy notebook, Maureen Judge. Okay, gotcha, thank you. Okay. You're probably like, oh, great. That's when you're going to do it, when I'm not here. All right. So I think Maureen and Mimi, I think you did tell me, didn't you, that you have a whole, do you have a whole insert that you used for currentlies? Yeah, that's just that. Is that right? So I pulled out my little metal ruler. The reason I pulled that out is, well, same reason. Sometimes if I am, let's see if I was writing my title over here, which I totally, hey, that could be something to put over here, right? I could do that, and then we just have, that's what I'm going to do, perfect. Okay. I need to think about, all right, bear with me. I needed to rotate that because I want to get as close to the edge as I can. I'm using, not with the N, U first. I am using the ruler because I'm putting my title over here. There are no lines. So if I use my ruler, if I line my stickers up on the ruler, I'm using this line up at the top to make, sure they are straight, okay? I've just pulled that off a couple times now. It's late. The stickers don't want to work. The ruler doesn't want to work. All right, lining them up at the top. That's the first reason I'm using the ruler. All right, I'm going to put these guys kind of close together. because I kind of like the way it looks close together. But there's another reason I'm using the ruler, and I will explain that in a minute when I get there. Oh, I could never, so back to the manicure. I could never use regular polish. I would literally get in the car and it would already chip. I am very hard during the day on my nails. It's all the doing the orders and then shipping. That would make it, yeah, it would not work. I'd be wasting my money. I might as well burn $20 bills in the yard. All right. Okay, so here we go. The first reason I'm using the ruler is so they will be in a straight line. The second reason I am using a ruler is I don't necessarily know where to start. Like, how do I know? Should I start the N right here, a little bit more here, or do I figure out how many letters there are and go left and go right and try to get the center? Or I do this, like this, okay? And just move it around. Hey, that looks pretty good. Now, I don't want to get too low. Maybe, do I need to be over here? No, that would be weird. Although, so now I'm trying to figure out the tree because I'm going to end up with this weird little trapped white space in there. So I think it is going to actually come down a little bit on top of the tree. So then I move it a little bit until I get it to where I feel like it's centered. That looks pretty good. And then all I do is press down on all of those stickers up at the top and then gently roll that up. I still do have a little bit of trapped white space there, but that's kind of inevitable. So what I mean when I say trapped white space, let's see. Oh, so Josephine Designs and Healthy Living for him on keto. Yes, I could absolutely. This would be a great place to put numbers if I was doing the entire title. Because for me, it would look really weird to me, just my personality, to do numbers and then to have my writing right there, because I think my writing would kind of get lost in all of that stripe. But I definitely have in the past done part of my title up there because I think that looks really cool when you do that. So if I didn't have that strip there, I would totally do that. So when we talk about, could I put my numbers in the strip? Numbers? I think that's what you mean. What was I just, trapped white space. I was talking about trapped white space a little bit. This little area right there, it's like there's this white space, not really white, but it's that little empty space there is trapped. Now it's not too bad, and I think I know what I might be able to do to kind of work with that. So we're going to kind of hold that thought for just a minute. But now I will do this. My life in. My life in numbers. All right. And then I'm just going to make this little thing there. And then I can start my whole list over here. So what I'm thinking, back to this over here for a minute. If I don't want that one. What I actually want is the winter. If I pull out, what was that? Oh, please. Oh, please. I did not put one of my stamps away. Okay, hang on. Look didn't put that stamp away, and that little guy just escaped. And I need to get him right now, or else I won't forget. I mean, I will forget. I won't remember. Look my wine has had like 2 sips out of it. It just starts to get late, and then my brain doesn't work. So this little stamp fell off there. What I'm going to do before I put it back down, I can feel it's not very sticky. It's got a little bit of like lint on it or dust. So if I just take my little chamois, there's just water on that, right? And clean that off. Now it will go back to being nice and sticky on that sheet. But I'm going to leave that over there because I need to put it away so I don't lose anymore. But this is what I was going for. This is Mini Icons Winter. So you know it could be kind of fun. Look at the little snowflakes, okay? I could, I don't know, maybe take this little snowflake right here. All right, I could take that, and I could just do some snowflakes in here. I wonder. I don't even know if this would work. I have no clue. I've never tried this, so I'm just going to try something. You can find white stamping ink. I don't have it. I don't know if it works well or not. But what I wanted to see is I wonder what would happen. This could either work or not at all. I could take one of my Poshka paint pens. I don't know, we'll see. What happens if I paint this little star stamp? Because this is a great white pen because it's paint. So what if I do that? And I have a little bit of this extra left over so I can test it on here. What will this look like? Oh my goodness! Look it! It's totally going to work. Look it! I am so excited I can hardly stand it. Okay, I really have never tried that. So what that tells me is I need to come back in here and make sure that I get paint everywhere on there. And then I'm going to stamp some white snowflakes in that little trapped white space area. Let's see here. Look it. Look it. It totally worked. Oh, that is so fun. I'm glad I tried that. You never know. Sometimes we try things here and they don't work at all. We're like, oh, tried that for you guys and we know it doesn't work. But that totally worked. And I would never do that with another color, but white's a little bit hard to work with when it comes to a like white ink, especially on a color like that. Like if I was trying to do white stamping ink, I don't know, maybe if you were doing embossing, that might work. I don't know. I think like a white embossing powder might work a little bit better, but I don't do that. I don't do embossing. Kathy said, that is so cute. I need to add that pen on my next order. Yeah, that was fun. That worked out well. You could tell I was so excited. That's how you know I didn't try it ahead of time because I wouldn't have been able to fake that excitement. And it kind of, I like that it kind of works because it's kind of faint a little bit, you know, the little snowflakes on here, but it just kind of is helping to fill in a little bit of that, what would otherwise look like trapped white space, right? Oh my goodness, Vicky would be so proud of me. I'd be like, Vicky, look at what I did. I'm doing mixed media. I took my paint pen and stamped with it. She would just, you know, like a proud parent that's like, oh yeah, wow, that's great. You're so talented, honey. That's what she would say to me. I know, because I'm sure she says that all the time. Vicky, look what I did. I can't believe it. Oh yeah. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty elementary. No, she would never say that to me. All right, so there we go. I think I could kind of I need to play around with that a little bit more because there's not quite, and I need to, you know, fill it in a little bit more. But look how now that trapped white space doesn't look so weird because I kind of just filled it in. So I won't bore us to tears by continuing to do that, but I will come back and finish that up later. And I'll show you kind of how that side turned out on Saturday, if you join me Saturday. Now, I do want to make sure that I really get that cleaned out, right? Really get that cleaned out well. So I'm just using my little chamois in there because I don't want any of that white paint to like sit in there and harden. All right, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now we're back over here, my life and numbers. And I need to figure out what I'm going to do here, because I don't have enough room to do, just thinking here. All right, what if I tried this? What if I took, maybe if I did my little just snowflakes. No, that's not gonna work. So really what I need to do is like one of the things on my list would be age, right? So I need to do age and then write whatever it is and then blah, 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 you know, all those things. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 things for my list. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 12, if I did like two, so we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, which means I'll end up with I need something down here. We go like that. All right, I kind of had to just figure that out, how that would work. So what I'm thinking is, if I did, I don't know. I just need to play around a minute, right? Sometimes things come to us easy, and sometimes we're not sure. So what I'm going to do is test something here. I'm thinking that I could stamp like a little snowflake and then write like age and then write, but I don't think I'm going to like that, but I will test it anyway. Okay, I pulled out a transparent sticky note. Okay, transparent sticky note. I had used this before. You can see how I stamped Mary before, and then I could like lay it right there and be like, oh, do I like the way that looks? Oh, I do, that works. But if I don't like the way that it looks, then I've not really ruined my list because I can test it ahead of time. So what I'm thinking is, let's go with, what about this cute little snowflake stamp? I better get rid of this one because I might accidentally get it turned right side up or upside down and then not realize what I did and use the wrong one. Okay. Black ink. You can't even see that that's there. Like, where'd my sticky go? All right. So if that goes right there, if I put that there, would that be weird? I think what I am going to end up doing, I won't mind that, but I think that I don't want to write age and then write the number. So I think what I'll end up doing is stamping all of these and then writing whatever it is. And then I'll come back and use different number stickers, maybe to put whatever the number is. I think that would be a nice way to break that up. So I feel comfortable doing this in a second. I don't want to stamp directly on here. You may have noticed really quickly, I just turned the page. I looked under here. First of all, I looked under here because I'm stamping directly on the page. I needed to make sure that I wouldn't ruin anything I did right here. So I'm okay because there's a piece of pattern paper here, so you won't see any shadowing or ghosting. So I'm okay there. But I pulled in another tool. I pulled in a pencil board. A pencil board is something. It is, whoopsie, it's something that you slide underneath something to give yourself a flat surface to stamp or write on. So I would not feel comfortable trying to stamp directly here because of all the stuff that's happened before here. This is really bumpy right here. This is really bumpy right here. I would have a problem stamping when I hit those bumps. Now, if I steer clear of this, I think we'll be okay because the pencil board won't help that, but let's see. So I put that pencil board underneath and we're going to do this. Gives me a nice flat surface to stamp on. I love that little stamp. It's so cute. Actually, I'll end up, I think, giving myself a little bit more room. Cutest snowflake. Uh-oh. Didn't quite work out so well there. That's okay. I got too cocky. How many did I say I had? Uh-oh. I have not given myself enough room. Oh, and then I totally went right off the edge. Let's fix that. So I just cleaned that up because I got ink all over the block. But before I stamp with that, I need to fully dry that off. That's a pigment-based ink. Pigment-based ink, water reactive. So if I don't get that completely dried off, I may not like the way that that ink reacts with any water or moisture on that. So I just cleaned that up really well with the microfiber. So it's going to get interesting. How many did I have on here? 12. Well, guess what's going to happen? We're going to come down here like that. We'll do another one here. Looks like I have plenty of room now, and we're going to have it even come up here. All right, so there we go. There's the start of that. And, oh, Christy, you're not feeling well. I'm sorry to hear that. Hi, Carla. Nice to see you. What's going on, Christy? Oh, no, super sick. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is such a, it's never a good time to be sick, but this time of year, it just seems like it's, yeah, I'm so sorry. That's so hard. That is hard. And you have a hard one coming up, huh? With your sister. Well, you know what I mean. Christy lost her sister earlier this year, so I'm sure this is gonna be a tough holiday as it is, and being sick does not make it any easier. I'm so sorry, Christy. All right. Really quick, I can kind of repair this little snowflake right there that I missed a little bit of part of, because that's the beauty of a snowflake like this. You can just kind of keep writing it in, right? Can kind of just build your own little snowflake branch there if you missed out a little bit. All right, so here we go. This one, let's see, age. Then I have kids. And then I have, I don't know, I'm like, this is all the way over here. Height. And I have weight. And I already know what it's going to say right next to weight. It's going to say nope. It's going to say nope, because there is no way in the world I'm putting my weight on there. Then I have years married, and these are just, you know, some of the numbers things I pulled off the top of my head. Schools, like how many schools I attended, how many cars I've had. This is not how many I have now. Pets. Jobs. States. Countries. And continents. Continents. Okay, so there we go. So that's as far as I'm going to get tonight. Age, kids, height, weight, years married, schools, cars, pets, jobs, states, countries, continents. I have written all of those numbers down with the exception of weight, which I will say nope. But beyond that, I am going to come in with different number stickers. So I'll just do a couple and then I will finish up later because it is getting late. Age. I am 55 whopping years old. 55, like the old 55 saves lives, right? Remember that? When they changed the speed limit everywhere to 55? 55. Like needs a little, one of those little emojis where they're like the Kevin from Home Alone where he's like, ah, and he puts his little, you know, hands at the side of his face. Okay, age 55. Just a number, right? Just a number. All these are just numbers. Kids. Let's see how many other numbers I have on here. Well, I basically have one. Well, I have two. Actually, I have 3 sets of numbers on here. That's what makes these sticker sheets so awesome. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 different alphabets, and you have 1, 1, 1. One different set of numbers. So what I will end up doing, because I don't want them to all be the same numbers, I have those little guys too that, no, I don't even have little guys. So what I will end up doing is pulling out lots of other, but again, I won't do this when we're together because this will take a while, right? I will pull out, ouch, knees, lots of other stickers, like some of these. And I can go, oh, look, I go to my black section and I have a number of different blacks in here that I can use. There we go. So let's put these back and see what we have. Okay, kids, I have 2 kids. So I could, that's a pretty big number. I don't know, does that work or is that too big? Yeah, that's way too big. Oh, but I know what I can do. No, I really can't use those. I don't think those will work really well because I was trying to say if I could do my height there, because if the weight's going to say nope, that doesn't leave me much room for kids unless I go to something really small. 2 won't be there because I am not 2 anything in height. But I could use like this little guy. Look at that little 2. That little 2. So if you want to do something like this, you could grab your all of your black stickers, or if you have white stickers, you could use white stickers too, and you could color them black, or you could just use lots of different colors if you wanted. So I am 5'10". Anytime someone sees double nickels, I know that's what, did I say double nickels? I can't remember if I said double nickels. Nick calls it, or he's double nickels. You're double nickels. 5'10". When people see me in real life, they're like, or they see me in photos next to other people, they're like, oh my goodness, I had no idea you were that tall. Yes, I am taller than the average bear. Definitely. Okay, so I did this. Look, 5. I've got these interesting little, I don't even know what those little things are. 5, and then I need a 1 and a 0. 5'10". Yep. Although I'm shrinking. I'm shrinking. I actually now, I bet if I was to get measured today, they'd probably say 5'8", and I'd probably say, you are lying. I'd say at least 5'9". And then they'd say, nope. And I'd say, yes, you're wrong. And they'd say, oh, you're getting older, you shrunk. And I'd say, blasphemous. No, I haven't. All right, 5'10". Weight. Weight is going to say, nope. Nope. And then a little smiley. Nope. Years married. 28. We have been married 28 years. 28. That's a lot of years. We weren't even young when we got married. I think I was 28. Was I 28? Nick was 30, I think. Is that right? Carla, you're 4'11"? Oh my gosh, you and I together? That's when I'd feel like I don't even know, like giant. I would feel like a giant. This is a great thing to do with if you have lots of extra like alphabet stickers. Sometimes it's really fun to do something like this, and it would work. I think this works because it's all in the same color. But even like this, when I did this list, this would totally work. Get a bunch of your old alphabet stickers and just start mixing fonts and mixing words and things, mix colors, and then something to do with some of your extra things. Schools. Attended. I've attended 6 schools. Now, the other thing I could do if I wanted, I could even, these don't all have to be numbers. So look at what else I could do. What if I could do something like this. I could then take, let's see, I could like spell out some of the numbers. Like this could say 6 because it's a shorter number. It only has 3 letters, so I could make it work. So 6, now I don't have like a whole bunch of degrees. That just means in my life, went to 6 schools. I hope that's right when I did the math. I don't know. I hope it is. Okay. 6 cars. I have had 9 cars in my life. My current car is 3 years, 4 months old, and it barely has 10,000 miles on it. That tells you how little I leave the house when I am home. Because I travel so much that when I'm home, I don't, well, that makes me sound like a recluse. I'm not a recluse. Not that there's anything wrong with being a recluse, but when I'm home, I'm working a lot and I don't go a lot of places. But when we do, Nick has a company car. So that's part of his arrangement with the company car is we just use his company car. All right, there we go. Schools, 6. Cars, 9. I was talking about that. Okay, so then I would just continue. Cars will be 9. Oh, yeah, I think I said, I can't remember if I told the rest of that story. Barely has over 10,000 miles. Anyhow, cars, 9. Pets, 4. They've all been cats, so I didn't count like when I was a kid. Jobs, 10. 10 jobs. Which, if you count like my first job when I was probably like 14, I don't think that's a lot, right? States, I've been to 38 states. And guess what? States and countries. This was really easy for me to go back and figure out the numbers. You know how? States. Well, we just so happen to have done a states I've been to list back in November of 2020. So all I did was go back and count all those little guys that I checked off. So I knew, I've been to 38 states. So that was easy. We also did a list, the different places we did a list of the countries that I visited. The different countries I've been to. I can't show you that because it is off being photographed. All of my inserts for this entire year are off being photographed with the exception of the current one because we're still working on it. They're off being photographed for the next idea book, which there will be one. I will release it plan is right now, March of 2020, March of 2024, and it will be all of the lists from 2023. So going forward, there will be a new idea book each year, but it'll be much smaller, right? Because that was 3 years worth. All right, friends, so I'm going to stop there. I am going to stop there. That we don't all need to be together for me to pick more numbers. So I will finish that one later. And that one I will show you on Saturday. But guess what? There is one more stamp for a giveaway. And it is the Mini Icons Winter. Okay? Mini Icons Winter. What did I already do? I did Mini Icons Holiday. Yes. I did Mini Icons Holiday. I did Word Strips Holiday and then Mini Icons Winter, which is the one I used for the snowflakes here and the little white snowflakes here that I need to finish. So this is the third giveaway. This, like the others, there is a giveaway for the live, right? And then there is also an after party giveaway. So 3 stamps I've done live. This will be the third one. And then I will give away the same 3 stamp sets in the after party, which means you leave a comment on the video when it's over. And then when we are together on Saturday, I will draw those 3 winners. I'll have drawn them right before and I'll announce those winners. So here we go. I am going to scroll up, and the winner of that one is Karen Haynes. And Karen, look how fitting that is. Karen had written, and literally, I just scrolled up, we had our 5th snowfall of the year this morning, just a dusting of powder, so no major. Karen lives in Colorado, so I have a feeling that the Icons Winter stamp set will come in very handy for her with all the snow. So Karen, you know the drill. If you're still here, shoot me an email. Oh yeah, there you go, Karen. Karen dated a 6'5" guy once. I am 5'4". Oh wow, Nick's 6'2", so we're a little bit closer. But yeah, big difference between 6'5" and 5'4", like 13 inches. That's a big difference. Okay, friends. So Karen, shoot me an email in the subject line, write Mini Icons winner, and then just put your address in there for me too. I know I have it, but then that'll make it easier. All right, friends. Let me do this. Let me rotate the camera and turn on the overhead lights. Turn off the studio lights. Oh my goodness, it's a mess in here. I gotta get it all cleaned up before Saturday. Well, I gotta clean it up first thing in the morning because it'll drive me crazy. All right, let me rotate the camera and we'll say our goodbyes. Okay, rotating, ready? Rotating. 1, 2. Didn't quite get that loosened up enough. KMC Stamper, 5'1" and 6'4". Oh, I love that. I always, always in life, if you were tall, you wish you were short. If you were, had blonde hair, you wish you had dark hair. If you had straight hair, you wish you had skinny hair. You know where I'm headed with that. Straight hair, you wish you had curly hair. If you were thin, you probably never wish that you were fat. But if you were larger, you definitely, wish that you were more petite, right? I always wished I was nice, petite little thing. Never in my life have been petite. I think I never, not even like when I was 2 was I ever petite. I'm just not. Anyhow. But yes, I was going to say too, if you were large chested, generally in some cases you wish you were small chested, vice versa, all the things, right? Marilee, I love it. Marilee said she's all caught up with her December daily thanks to tonight. So some of you list with me, but some of you are just here hanging, socializing, having not nice, I won't say nice, but having something in the background. Like, so some of you, I'm just like TV, it's just playing in the background. But some of you are working on other crafting related projects. So I love that. And I am very proud of you, Marilee. It's a project, right? It is a project to keep up with. That's for sure. I'm a day behind. After I went to lunch with my mom and we went to a bookstore and I came home and I'm like, I don't have it in me. I'm not going to do it, which is okay, right? It's okay. We have to give ourselves grace sometimes. Teresa, I watched your first live video when you had Sam help. You have come a long way. Yeah, that was like the very early days, probably like the second or third weekend and back in March of 2020 at the beginning of COVID. Oh my goodness. When we were all spinning and I had literally, I'm like, I don't know how to do camera. What am I doing? Spinning. I don't get it. Yeah. Figure things out, right? We all figure it out. Karen is stamping tonight in an insert for upcoming trip and made her own kit of supplies. I think, Karen, you did the document your travel stamp set, right? That'll be so fun. That'll be so fun. Terry's happy mail got here today. Awesome. Awesome. Teresa, barely started December daily. Hard to have ideas for me. Teresa, I don't know offhand if you purchased my project kit. If so, remember that idea sheet that's in there. If not, there is a playlist here on my YouTube channel of my last 7 or 8 years worth of flip through videos. So you'll get tons of ideas there. If you go to Pinterest, you'll find a lot of people sharing even lists of things that you could document in your December daily type project, because it doesn't have to all be things that you did. If you saw earlier, I did a to-do list yesterday. Yesterday, for the 11th, was my to-do list of things I need to do during the holidays. So listing, I think, works really well, in your December daily. Besides to-do list, your favorite movies or your favorite ornaments, or pick an ornament and tell a story about your favorite ornament or different things like that. So there's loads of ideas out there, though. Tons and tons and tons of ideas. Okay, friends. Anna said you were my Saturday company during lockdown. Likewise. Likewise. I meet a lot of you, and a lot of you share wonderful things with me about how what we did here on Saturdays just saved you. And I will, every time I say ditto, it gave me something to focus on. It gave me something to look forward to. It gave me help, I was being social, and it was a lot. So I think it did a lot for me as well. Very much so. Okay, friends, I'm going to jet. I'm going to run. I got to still finish my glass of wine. Good thing it's red because it's room temperature and just didn't have to get cold because it's room temperature. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you're watching the replay, remember even if you're not watching the replay, those of you guys who are live, you can still participate in the after party giveaways. So as soon as the video is over, leave a comment on the video itself, not here in the chat, and then I'll draw 3 random lucky winners. We'll be together listing this Saturday, the 16th. So 16th, 23rd, 30th of December 2023. And then next week I'll publish our kind of listing schedule for the first 3 months of 2024. Yeah, so thanks for joining me tonight, you guys, for one of our nighttime listing. We don't do these very often, usually maybe once a year, so they're always fun because it's just kind of a little bit of a different thing. Take care. If I do not see you, like this, if I don't see you between now and Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, have an amazing Christmas and the days leading up. If you celebrate Hanukkah, I think we're in the middle of Hanukkah right now, so celebrate away. And if you celebrate whatever you celebrate, and if you don't celebrate at all, then celebrate life, right? So have a wonderful rest of the year if I don't see you. Hopefully I see you before then, but if I don't, thank you for joining me, and I will catch up with you guys later. Okay, thanks for watching.